At the tone, please record your message. One for more options.
Hey, welcome back to the Crash Space. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. It is the 26th of October, 2025. We've been gone for a week or so. For those who don't know, it was the Netrunner World Championship just last weekend in Edinburgh. So we popped out to travel across the ocean to go to the Dovecot Tapestry Studio, where about 400 players showed up, or 400 Netrunner folks showed up, I guess, to have a good old weekend, and it was phenomenal. Again, for those who don't know, I've been making Netrunner content for about a decade now. This is actually my moonlighting channel, where I play some Marvel Champions, another one of my favorite card games. But last weekend was a huge success. I'm a volunteer, so I was doing commentary. I wasn't playing Netrunner, but it's good to be back. I missed y'all. Hopefully it wasn't too long. How's it going, Art? How you doing, JS? Good Sunday morning. Hopefully y'all are doing well. We're back this Sunday. We're kind of continuing on our thing again. Shouldn't be really surprising at this point, but we do not have any of the new content here at Marvel Champions in Canada. So if you're looking forward, as you know, obviously one day I will be, for either playing Trickster Takeover or the new Civil War box, which has just come out, I think, last week in North America, or in USA, I guess more accurately. That's unfortunately not where we are today. So we don't have any of that stuff. And I'm fearing for the worst. I think we have projections that Trickster Takeover will show up November 7th, which is like, 10 weeks late or something. So I don't know. I missed your videos. Yo, Matyush, thanks for the kind words. Welcome back. It's good to be back on a Sunday. So that means today, if you're looking for some topical Marvel Champions content, we're not exactly going to be that, but we're going to be doing something fun today. And we're going to be retreading an old, a thing that worked before, and maybe we're going to try and repeat it again without being gauche about it. So I'm trying to play every hero through a campaign this year. And so I'm jumping back and forth between some of the older heroes and some of the newer heroes, the ones that this year I just haven't played. And speaking about a hero I haven't played Star-Lord. Oh, I do want to say off the top, it might be evident already, is that when returning from Edinburgh from the World Championship, I got sick. So this whole week, for a fair bit of it, I've been off. I've been working from home, stuff like that, but I'm a bit under the weather. So if I sound a bit strange, it is because I am. That's just how it is. So I'm going to try and blow my nose as much as I can off microphone. Hopefully we get through that okay. Okay, so when I started playing Marvel Champions, it was maybe at the beginning when Mutant Genesis came out. I think that was the first box I bought that was like a modern box. I want to say that was about 2 years ago. I might be wrong about that. I'm pretty bad when it comes to these sort of things. But there was a whole backlog of Marvel Champions content that I was picking up. Modernly, that conversation gets a bit more unfortunate, but you could pick up everything. You had to kind of look a bit hard, but I was picking up everything sequentially. And I was playing from the core set forward. And one of the things that I would do whenever I got a new hero is I would play their pre-con. I would always just like play a campaign with their pre-constructed deck and kind of see what they were about. A lot of times I'd play with my partner, we'd play 2-player, but there's no hero that I haven't played at least one campaign with, at least in the 2.5 years I've been playing Marvel Champions. And Star-Lord was a hero that I picked up, I played the precon, and I didn't touch since, which is not super surprising. I think there's a bunch of characters that fall into that camp, especially at the period of time where I was playing catch-up when it came to Marvel Champions content. So I played Star-Lord, I played Star-Lord's kit, I understood Star-Lord's shtick of getting extra encounter cards, which was very risk versus reward, and it sat with me okay. It wasn't my favorite, and I played like 7 games. I think I lost 1 game at some point in the campaign, and then I haven't played Star-Lord for about 2 years. And we're back. And that's because, of course, we want to play a campaign with everyone, but also because I want to revisit this. I think we've been doing a pretty good job revisiting older heroes that I don't think I've liked so much. And now with a bigger card pool, with more Marvel Champions knowledge, maybe with more patience and wisdom, we've actually been enjoying a lot of the stuff that we've been kind of set aside and thinking this is not for us. And so that's what we're going to do today. And today, this is why I say this is similar to something we've done before. We have a deck that we haven't built, but I found a net deck by Drew. If I hit this button, this should work. Nice. This is called a Suit of Armor Around the Galaxy, and this is one of Drew's decks. A couple weeks ago, we played Drew's Bishop deck, and it was another leadership deck that hinged on Call for Aid. And I just thought it was like one of the coolest decks I've ever played. I think Drew builds really, really good decks, and not only like powerful decks, but they're interesting decks, and they're really well tuned. There's a lot of cards that are like 1-ofs and 2-ofs that you wouldn't expect. And I just think it's very apparent when I play this deck, and I've only played this deck about maybe 5 or 6 times so far. That a lot of thought has gone into this, and I think they're like really high skill cap decks, really high player expression decks, pretty fascinating stuff. And this is no different. So the link to this is down below. Technically, we're not playing this version. We're playing the deck update code version, which you can see just above Peter's head there on the right side. If you click that, that is the version we're playing card for card. We might change one card, but you can find the link to this below. Now, last time we played Bishop, Drew found this content and left a really nice comment about how I think we did Drew proud, and maybe we can do the same thing again today. This one I'm feeling less confident about. Bishop is a bit more straightforward. From my testing so far, Starlord has been a bit I wouldn't say inconsistent, but there was just much more I felt to learn, because Starlord's shtick, as we read the card here, is that you can give yourself an encounter card to reduce the card you're playing by 3 once per round. And that's really good. Saving 3 resources is absurdly strong in this game. There's no resource cheaters like this, except taking the encounter card is really bad. And you obviously take a bunch of extra encounter cards. The whole kit is about giving yourself more encounter cards. And the more I played this, the more I realized that that's an ability that you want to feather until you can win. Anytime that you find yourself in the mid game and you're having 4 or 5 encounter cards that you have to survive because of the decisions you've made, you usually lose those games, because 4 or 5 encounter cards in a row, the way the Marvel Champions works, it's very not unlikely that you get attacked multiple times. And if you don't have a bunch of allies, which this deck doesn't have a bunch of allies, you'll usually be that usually ends the game. Let's just say that. And so what I've been learning is that you want to set up, you want to kind of feather it, and then once you're in striking distance, Starlord is really easily in striking distance. You want to close the game. And they've been really exciting games so far, both because it's a leadership deck, and I don't play a lot of leadership, and this is a fascinating leadership deck, but also they've just been genuinely exciting the way that I wish Starlord was exciting back when I played it in, 2 years ago. And so we're going to dive in, and let's talk a bit about this deck list, because I actually like it a fair bit, and I think there's going to be a bunch more to learn today. So this is Starlord 10 health, which is pretty cool. I like 10 as a number. 9 is pretty standard as kind of your weak humanoid person, but 10 makes Starlord slightly beefier. I think that's kind of fun. And it says each ally you control gains the Guardian trait. That actually is a great sentence, and I think it makes it why Starlord, if you search on Marvel CDB, you end up with just a ton of leadership decks. Not only because of the team up card, but because you now have access to this huge cadre of allies that you can all ensure have this type, and then there's ways to make that type beneficial. This matchup matters. It really does matter. This deck can only be played in Starlord, because making sure when we play our Iron Man Avenger ally to make him a Guardian is actually really important. So really cool text. And it actually works well. It works off of anything that cares about Guardians functionally. I think 9 out of 10 times this works for most multi-card combos. Now, what could go wrong is a fun interrupt. As we said before, deal yourself a face down encounter card, reduce a card you're playing by 3. We will use this almost always on turn 1. We'll use this always on the last turn, and then sometimes we'll use it in the middle. Our cost curve is actually incredibly low in this deck, and while Starlord has some really powerful 3 cost cards that actually get benefit if you have face down encounter cards, a lot of our cost curve is very low. So we're not going to be using this all the time, and we're not like really needing to use this all the time, but it's another big reason, I'm guessing, why you end up with a whole bunch of leadership Starlord decks, because you can just play a lot of cheap allies, expensive allies cheaply. Alter ego ability, not super important. It's oh, 1 second, hold on, where's Cerebro? There you are, Cerebro. Recovery 3, I honestly wish that number was bigger, because I do end up recovering in every single scenario I've played this so far. But we have an action to choose a card from your hand to swap it with the top card of your deck. I have totally forgot that's a thing. I'm going to try and remember it today. I know I forgot that in most of my test games, and it can matter in this deck, actually, kind of important. And then setup, we can search our deck and search our deck and discard pile for 1 copy of Element Gun, which is a weapon that is pretty useful. And in fact, a bunch of our cards don't work unless we have it on the table. It's also a 3 cost card, which actually feels a bit expensive in the early game, because I'm going to prioritize getting an ally down. That might be wrong, but that's that. All right, this is what the deck's doing. So let's talk about our main kit. And this is how you close games. 3 copies of Sliding Shot. This is generally a 0 for 7. In a lot of cases, this is a 0 for 9, 0 for 11, 0 for 13. It's 5 damage plus 2 more for each face down encounter card. And because this costs 3, you can give yourself a face down encounter card and play it for free, and it will count that encounter card. Now, you need an element gun for this. There's no other ways to make you discard element guns besides your obligation, but this is your closer. 3 for 5 is not great, obviously, but a 0 for 7 is really good. Even on any board state, you'll consider getting an encounter card, but this is how you end games. You're generally like fighting, and then you just do like 2 stages of the villain in a single turn, which is pretty exciting. Speaking of the element gun, like it reminded me a fair bit of the katana that we played last week or 2 weeks ago in Deadpool. It's not bad. It's a restricted weapon. It costs 3, and it's 1 resource to deal 3 damage with piercing. Piercing can matter a fair bit. There's a bit of toughness in this campaign that we're playing, and you need at least 1 on the table. Otherwise, your sliding shots don't work. So we will play 1 at some point for sure. No, gutsy move. There's only 2 of these. These are the only cards in our whole kit that do with threat. This is a similar idea. It's 2 threat plus 2 threat for every face down encounter card, but this card only costs 2, so you don't get as much value from giving yourself the encounter card for this. This is usually my recovery button, where like if you take too many encounter cards in the mid game and then there's a bunch of threat on the main scheme, this is how you fix it. Otherwise, I'm not excited to pay 2 for 2, obviously. 2 for 4 is not bad. 2 for 6 is really, really good, but you'll play this whenever it makes sense. So not that common. This is the card that I'm so confused about. There's 3 copies of it. The kit is pretty consistent. Daring Escape. It's a 0-cost card that readies you, draws a card, and gives you an encounter card. Which, like, that's nice. It's a good cantrip. But it's the sort of thing that I think you really need to be careful about. That generally a card and a ready might not be worth an encounter card on a lot of board states. Unless you're on one of those turns where you need to be encounter card maxing. Like sliding shot turns or like gutsy move turns. We don't really get a lot of benefit from being ready. This doesn't have any sort of extra abilities that say when you attack or when you thwart or anything. So our ready is only worth our stats. This card should be better than it seems is kind of my read on it. But it's the sort of card that I realize the more that I'm playing this deck. If I'm using this just for like a bit of tempo, it's usually costing me the game. So I'm trying to keep these for turns where it really, really matters. Now, speaking of where you can get some benefit, this is the cool synergistic part of the kit. I guess these 2 cards. Star-Lord's Helmet. When you're in hero form, get +1 hand size for each face down encounter card. And you can always get at least 1 face down counter card every turn. So you can become a 6 hand size hero up to, 8 hand size hero, which is really good. The thing is, like, I haven't found it sustainable, particularly on expert, to try and encounter card max every single round. You do just die to that more often than not. So this is something that will fire maybe a couple times in a game and give you a couple extra cards, but it hasn't been that sort of like build around piece that a lot of heroes have in their head slot, pseudo head slot. Which is interesting. It's like, it's good, but I don't want to be encounter card maxing the way that I'm playing this. And I'm interested to see if that's different than most people play it. Jet boots, very similar idea, but you can just get reasonable value from this. Mind you, you also get the encounter card when you cycle your deck. That's been a fun wrinkle with Star-Lord, trying to figure out when you cycle your deck to get that extra encounter card to make it work for you. But this says when you would take any amount of damage from an attack, exhaust this. Oh, it isn't even from an attack. It's when you take any amount of damage. Oh, that's good. Giving the aerial trait doesn't matter, but we can prevent 1 of that damage for each fade down encounter card in front of you. So this is a nice way to tank 1 big attack. The issue is when you have a bunch of encounter cards, it's not unlikely that you get attacked multiple times, and this only exhausts once. So it's a nice way to dodge 1 attack where you can block 4 damage without defending if you're in a bad spot. But from that point forward, oh, it gets worse. Bad boy. Seems expensive, but it's a very good ability. It says when you would die. This one is from an attack. Yeah, from the villain's attack specifically. Don't discard this, and you don't remove it from game, which is cool. A lot of the other like don't die buttons remove from game. Like I think Wolverine has one. This one doesn't. It just says discard this, prevent the damage, go to alter ego, draw 2 cards. That is such sick text, and it is one of these cool panic buttons that if you have too many encounter cards, you can just run away. The issue is the rest of the encounter cards still resolve, which means now that the hero is going to be thwarting a lot potentially anytime you get an activation card, and you can lose from there. So this is really cool, and it's a very good safety button, and in a lot of ways, it's like the way that you can ensure that you can play aggressively. It's expensive, but it's very, very good, and it feels great when it fires. Yo, Lucy, how's it going? Last card here is Leader of the Guardians. You're not too late. We've been streaming for like maybe 10 minutes of talking. This gives all Guardian characters you control +1 thwart, and as long as we're in hero mode, everybody's a Guardian functionally. So it feels expensive, but it does go far enough. This is not a card I'll rush to the table unless it's like the last scenario of this campaign where there's a lot of side schemes when you play against Red Skull. We're playing, mind you, Rise of the Red Skull. But otherwise, this feels a bit expensive. But again, the fact that it will be on every single character all the time is quite good. And that's our basic kit. So it's relatively self-synergistic, which is kind of cool. You understand what the designers were doing, and it is fun and it is quite exciting. But the rest of the deck, we're now going in kind of a different direction, which is quite fun. Let's talk about our allies. And this is our last card from our kit. It's Nova Prime, cost 5. Hopefully you're playing it for 2 using your ability. And it says after you play Nova Prime from your hand, defeat a non-elite minion. And then Nova Prime has like pretty okay stats. 3 attack on 3 health is not bad. 2 thwart on 3 attack is also not bad at all. This defeats a minion. Ideally, you're defeating something with bad text or like with retaliate or with toughness without having to deal with it. So far, this just hasn't lined up a lot. Our deck is really good at playing an ally, which is this ally. So I haven't really prioritized this thing, but this card's not bad. And I think there's certain scenarios and campaigns where it's a bit better, but I usually don't play this one that much. Now, this is where the deck is built around. Oh, I need to blow my nose already. Iron Man leadership. So this costs 4. But we ideally play it for 1 on turn 1. And it says reduce the cost to play of each upgrade on Iron Man by 1. And the big reason why we're doing this is that we have our team up card, Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, this is a really cool synergy package because Iron Man now in our deck is a Guardian as long as we're in hero mode. And Guardians of the Galaxy team up. This one I don't fully understand, because I don't remember the Guardians of the Galaxy being really attachment heavy in their comic books or whatever, but it's 1 team card per player, cost 2. We have 2 in our deck to get it consistently. And it says, if each of your characters has a Guardian trait, which when we're in hero mode will always happen, after you play an upgrade on an ally, draw a card. And Iron Man says that all our allies, or sorry, all our upgrades we attach to Iron Man cost 1 fewer. There's also a lot of upgrades, it turns out, in leadership that you can only attach to Guardian allies, and Iron Man is a Guardian ally. And this is where this deck becomes a bit of this miracle deck, a bit of a Voltron deck, as you would call it, where you basically attach a whole bunch of good stuff to Iron Man, and every time you attach a card, not only is it free, but it draws a card, so it replaces itself, which gives you this immense consistency to set up this really gross big Iron Man, but also this consistency just to get through your deck, so that you're consistently cycling through your deck, you're getting to your power cards, you're setting up consistently. This is the crux of the deck, and it has been really quite fun. So it is, a bit of a risk reward deck, but a lot of the deck actually hinges on Iron Man becoming this massive, like 6 health, 5 thwart, 6 attack with additional text and all the keywords you can put on an ally. It's really quite cool. Excuse me. I told you I came down with something after traveling. It's always a bummer, but it's the cost, it seems, of like hanging out with 400 people. Let me know if I'm too disgusting to the microphone. We'll try and do something about it. Okay, now how do we get Iron Man? This is maybe the Drew special, if you ask me, and something we did on stream just a week ago. It's a Call for Aid deck, which the more I play this card, the more I love it, because Call for Aid is just a fun, high consistency, but high like skill deck card. It says discard cards from your deck until you find an Avenger ally, add that card to your hand, and we only have 1 Avenger ally. So on turn 1, we're guaranteed to get Iron Man, which means we're guaranteed to set up all our stuff and build our combo engine and go from there, which is quite nice. And of course, because we're discarding cards from our deck, we're playing all the discard from card package. We're playing 3 copies of Digging Deep, which when discarded enters our hand. So Call for Aid can be positive on resources. And of course, we might as well play White Fox, who of course, when she hits the table, she's also a Guardian. So all our team stuff works. Now, there's only 1 other ally we're playing in the deck, and it's Gamora, and I actually like this a heck of a lot. While these Guardian locked allies are already relatively good, Gamora just even makes more sense with their deck, because when Gamora activates, attacks or thwarts, we get to discard cards from our deck, and we have a chance of hitting either Digging Deep or White Fox, and then we end up getting our events. And our events are really, really impactful. Particularly, there's a lot of turns where you're looking for a sliding shot, or you're looking for a gutsy move, and that's also kind of nice. So this all works super synergistically in a way that I was like surprised, and this is kind of the Drew special, if you ask me. It was like, okay, this makes sense to me, and then this makes sense to me, and then Gamora makes sense to me, but then I played him like, wait, also Gamora works with this package. It's just really quite nice. But that is the short of the long. And then I'm not going to show all these cards here because they're not super important, but then we're playing every 1 and 0 cost upgrade that we have access to, and we're just attaching them to Iron Man. Every time we do, it costs nothing, it draws a card, and it boosts Iron Man's stats. Now, there's 2 things that are worth noting, is that this version of the deck has no healing. Emergency, what is it called? Emergency aid? Medical? What's the core set neutral card that heals? This version of the deck is playing no healing. The original deck was running some amount of healing, and I think at the end of the day, you actually don't need to heal Iron Man. Because once Iron Man is destroyed, it's not that bad to like get Iron Man into your discard pile, and then when you shuffle your deck, bring Iron Man back and just do it again. And doing it again is good because building it up draws you cards, and it doesn't actually cost you that many like deck slots or draws. And so doing it again seems to be a better thing than healing Iron Man. So this deck has no healing. It just builds up Iron Man, you make him big. Sometimes when Iron Man's on 1 health, you like decide, okay, I'm not going to activate this turn because I know I'm going to draw into one of the 4 upgrades next turn that gives +1 health so he can stay around. And of course, we need to shout out Honorary Guardian, which I apparently spelled really wrong. Honor. Did I spell it like a Canadian? No. I can't pull the card up because I spelled it wrong. But Honorary Guardian, we can attach to Iron Man to give Iron Man the Guardian status, so that when we flip back to Alter Ego, Iron Man can retain Guardian status, so our Guardian synergy still should work. Do you think about Yondu Voltron 2 here? By the way, your greeting from my wife we made photo of her in Edinburgh last week. Oh, no way. Sick. It was really nice to meet you. Yondu is okay. Hold on. The thing with the Yondu is like Yondu's expensive. That's not a problem. Yondu staying around forever is not that important. Like, I think this is the same thing about healing Iron Man is my guess, is that you find out when you play this deck, you don't need your ally to be there on the table forever. And then once we attach all our stuff to Yondu, like, I don't know, it thins our deck, which is good, but then Iron Man's kind of useless. I guess in theory you could like weave between the two, but I just think the benefit you get from Iron Man to like fly through your deck, let alone you don't pay resources for all these cards, is way better than the fact that Yondu functionally has unlimited health. If Iron Man had unlimited health, it'd be better, but I just don't think the health is a big limitation. A lot of these cards give +1 health, so generally you play Iron Man 1.5 times before the scenario is over. Yondu's not bad, that's for sure, but yeah, Yondu's definitely the other way to do Voltron in leadership, which is cool. All right, we're playing two side schemes, player side schemes. I think one of these I could cut, and I might consider cutting. Build support is actually really, really cool because you can search your deck for support. And while we have one or two supports, well, we have the very important support if we want to get it, the team up one. We're also playing a copy of IPAC. And this is a card that I've never played, and we actually can't play it because we're not X-Force. But for those not familiar with the ruling, build support doesn't play the card, it puts it into play. So you get around this whole like play only if your identity trait lock thing happens. And IPAC is just a good card for us. Again, the more I play this deck, I don't want to hit IPAC every single turn. Usually that seems like a losing line. But on the turn where you pop off, this gives you +2 cards. It generally gives you +2 damage to your big sliding shot. It's just really, really, really good. IPAC has been more fun than I thought. I've never played IPAC before because 2 cards for an encounter card doesn't always feel like a good trade in this game, especially when you're playing on expert difficulty. Superpower Training. This is the one card I would consider cutting. I have never used it. Now, 3 thwart is something we actually can get to because giving +1 thwart to all our characters makes Peter Quill or Star-Lord 3 thwart, so we can clear it in one shot. And this gets an upgrade. And we have some really good upgrades, and we have some really expensive upgrades. Like Bad Boy is really good. Oh no, Bad Boy is a support, excuse me. Our guns are expensive upgrades. There's a chance I would consider cutting this because in my playtest games I have never used it, but we'll keep that in mind. And then all we have is 3 resources. This is the one card I would consider, and I actually am not sure if I would consider trading out Superpower Training for this card or the other card. This is Downtime. Downtime just gives a +2 recovery. And I feel like we're almost always recovering in when we play Star-Lord. At some point, we never block. We just take a whole bunch of damage. And this allows us to recover for 5, which helps a lot. Yeah, there are options to play Endurance, but we actually already have +4 health in this campaign, in this scenario, and I'll explain why in a moment. But I think there's a chance that I would trade out Build Support either for Endurance or Downtime to either give us more hit points, because we never want to block, we just kind of want to win before our hit points catch up with us, or give us more recovery with Downtime so that we can just like fix it. Because we do generally recover at least once or twice. That's one of the big things about, what's it called, Bad Boy, is that when Bad Boy triggers, you're generally on low health, and then you end up in Alter Ego, so you're kind of incentivized to recover, and your recovery 3 doesn't really fix any big problems. So yeah, I think there's a chance that Downtime's okay, but we'll try playing with the way the deck has printed, and then if we make the change, we make the change. As a backup for Iron Man, yeah, the backup for Iron Man thing actually is really important because there are certain scenarios where you end up like attaching things to Gamora. I've attached things to White Fox before. Sometimes you just attach them to whatever allies you have. And we actually will get our own allies in Taskmaster in this scenario naturally. I have attached other assets, or sorry, other upgrades to other allies. It just happens organically. You don't always get Iron Man all the time. Oh, I feel like I'm going to be so gross on the microphone. Give me 1 second. I need like a modesty curtain to blow my nose. Okay. So, this is Taskmaster. I generally play on campaign mode, and we are currently halfway just about through the campaign of Rise of Red Skull. This is the first box that came out. I don't think it's the hardest box. It is the first box, so it's like, you know, there's a lot of learning going on in the Marvel Champions design world, but it's honestly such a sick box. It's really, really quite good. A couple things. We have new dice. This is what we're using now, which is really cool. Before on stream, we were using these, which are slightly smaller. I think these are much easier to read. I think I'm getting some flack where, like, in theory, threat should be yellow, but threat has been so orange coded in my life for the last 2 years that, like, this looks natural to me. But those look a bit nicer, which is cool. The other thing that we're going to be doing is a character like Iron Man. I mark health on characters, so I have these big die. So I do this and they have 3 health. And anytime they take consequential, the number goes down, it doesn't go up. This is how much health is left, which is actually way better for streaming, because if I attach an attachment that gives Iron Man +1 health, how much health does Iron Man have? You don't know. So I always like to say health remaining, and then just not have any healing in the deck also kind of helps. The other thing we're going to try to do, I got some more dice along this, is I have these blue dice and red dice. So anytime the stats are modified, I'm just going to modify the stats like this. So from the top camera, it should be easier, as much as you'll lose a bit of Iron Man's art, to know exactly what the stats are. And I'm going to be doing that specifically for these Voltron allies, because it's really hard to read all the upgrades because they'll get stacked pretty aggressively. Hey, Scott, been enjoying your videos. Thank you. Thanks for popping in and leaving a nice message. It's really appreciated. I really wish burger spin downs weren't a fortune to get to the UK. Lucy, I wish they weren't a fortune to get to Canada too. So I hear you, as much as yours is probably a fair bit worse. Shipping on this and tariffs was like pretty bad. It was not good. But yeah, I got a whole bunch of new die. So new dice, we'll try and use those for sure. All right, let's explain where we are. We're playing against Taskmaster. I feel immediately so much worse congested. Maybe I'm just like more in tune to it now. Taskmaster 2, 16 health points. We'll technically read all this text after we do the setup. So let's do the setup first. We're playing stock standard hunting down heroes. I did a quick look on modular champions, whether there was an encounter set that added some like space stuff. Couldn't find one. So we're just going to play stock standard. Speaking of stock standard, it looks exactly like this. Taskmaster has mostly attachments that matter. We're looking at weapon masters on top of it. Captured by Hydra, we want to clear those. Hydra Patrol is not too bad. The when defeated one on the Hydra Soldier gives you an encounter card. That's both a boon and a curse. And the Weapon Master has a really scary encounter card that says the villain attacks and it gets Surge if the Taskmaster has a weapon attached, which is something we need to watch out, because surging into surging into surging is really bad on that turn where you add like 6 extra encounter cards unless you win that turn. So we have to watch out. Setup says set each captive ally side out of play. There's 4 of them. They're very good. They're all neutral cost allies. They will be guardians for the sake of our deck, which is quite nice if we get them. And then we shuffle them. We go for a Hydra Patrol and put that in play, and then shuffle the counter deck, which we'll get to in a second. Hydra Patrol is a pretty stock bog standard encounter, or side scheme, excuse me. Comes in with 2 threat and a crisis icon, so we can't deal with the main scheme. And when defeated, we can search the deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion, and we don't reveal it, we put it into play. And that actually gives us a lot of like leverage, because either we can grab a quick strike minion, which there might be some in the deck, or we just grab something it doesn't do its when revealed text. The new dice look great. Heck yeah. That's cool. Let's flip this over. So only scheme. It has 12, which was relatively high for back in the day. It says the notorious Taskmaster has been appointed by Hydra's chief of police. His top priority is hunting down the outlaw heroes. Topical. 1 threat, 1 per turn, but forced response. After step 1 of the villain phase, which is when you put 1 threat there per player, either put a threat there or take a damage. We'll make that decision on a turn-by-turn basis. We don't have like a really high-level strategy. We'll look at our board state and decide what's best for us. Usually it's adding the threat, because we have only big threat clearing cards. That's the thing with our like 1 threat clearing card that clears like 4 or 6. We don't want to spend it to clear 2 threat. So we're kind of incentivized to let this go high and then do big clears as opposed to small clears. Our deck is actually relatively good at thwarting once we get down our like all guardians have +1 thwart. And that should be it. Okay. Other things we have to talk about. We got 2 things here that are really good. This you just kind of pick up naturally through the campaign. So we have Emergency Teleporter, which we might not use this scenario. Once we use it, we can only use it in the campaign once and it's gone. We can discard this card and remove it from the game to search our deck and discard pile for an ally and put it into play. And give it a tough status, which I'll definitely forget about that. This is really good, because if we're in a pinch and we don't have access to Iron Man, we can just grab Iron Man. Our mulligan is so important in this deck, because if we don't grab a Call for Aid or an Iron Man, our opening kind of stinks. So we have to keep that in mind. But this is a nice panic button we have to keep there. Now this card, I've been finding myself enjoying more and more taking these recovery upgrades, which you almost never take in Marvel Champions. This is one of our 4 options. The other ones give you +1 attack, +1 thwart, +1 defend. And we went for the +1 recovery, which is just so funny, but it actually works out really well. So we have 4 recovery, but most importantly, we have +4 hit points. So I'll put a little button there, but now our hit points shoot up to 14, which helps a heck of a lot because we're just going to take every attack until they actually start to really matter. So this doesn't have really active text. I'll just put it behind here and we'll remember it's there. Speaking of the campaign, there's 3 encounter cards we're going to shuffle into the deck because 3 experimental weapons were stolen by Crossbones. These are the one that gives Retaliate, the one that gives Ranged, and the one that gives +1/+1 stats. We got kind of lucky here. The one that when it hits you, you have to discard a card from your hand is the worst one for decks that don't want to defend, which we kind of got lucky there. But otherwise, we'll just shuffle this and we're off. We're playing on Expert. How's everyone doing? It's a Sunday. Feeling good. It's been a busy weekend. We're going to be streaming for about 2.5 hours. After that, we have a birthday party. Oh, we didn't show Taskmaster. Speaking of a birthday party, let's celebrate the guy. When revealed, deal each player an encounter card. Ooh, we love that. It makes us more powerful. Schemes for a 2, attacks for 2, as much as the weapons will modify it. And forced response. Chat, please don't let me forget this because I forget this sometimes. After a player changes to hero form, they discard the top card of the encounter deck and you take indirect damage equal to the number of boost icons. Oh, it's not even indirect. It's just take damage. Okay. That's functionally the same thing for this deck usually, but yeah, that's good to know. We just have to take somewhere between 0 and 3 damage. A couple things. Boost icons are the actual like triangle type shaped things, not stars. And changing hero form to a different hero form counts as a form change. So if you're like Ant-Man or Wasp or Angel, Taskmaster gets a bit trickier for you. Very funny. I think these look really nice. I'm actually really happy with them. I changed the color. I think every week we do the stream, the color of the stream is like not perfect. I was like, last time we were streaming, I'm like, it's way too red, and it was still very red. I thought I fixed it. This actually looks the best so far, but I never think my skin looks right. It looks a bit purple. I don't know. Maybe I should just make my skin more purple. Like as a human. One less thing to worry about. Okay, and we're off. Click on the box. All right, let's mulligan. Have a coffee first, actually. So there's this weird thing. I stream Netrunner and I talk like the way that I talk now in Netrunner, and I stream for like 2.5 hours, 3 hours, no problem. I do a Marvel Champions stream of about the same amount of length, and my voice is cooked after every Marvel Champions stream. I don't know what the difference is. Maybe because it's like a smaller channel, there's less people in chat, and so I spend more time talking and not like reading. I can't be that. I don't know why this channel eats my voice for breakfast, and otherwise I'll do like a Netrunner stream for 5 hours and be totally fine. Is it like physically the act of looking down while talking hurts my throat more? I don't know. If anyone has any ideas, please send medical help. Okay. Give it a cut and we're off. We're looking for call for aid. We want to draw a gun is fine. You don't want to draw 2 guns, especially on your mulligan. Comms implant. Okay, so I'm not going to be showing a lot of the text on a lot of these upgrades because it doesn't really matter that much. This is not a card we'll keep in our hand unless we are drawing Iron Man and our team up, so they kind of just don't matter. Element gun. Okay, this is fine. Again, after we mulligan, we grab 1 element gun with our alter ego ability, so we can always discard 1. That's fine. So we'll guaranteed value. Strength we could consider keeping. Daring escape is not useful. Call for aid is perfect. We now have a game and we have a sliding shot. Okay, so call for aid we definitely keep, because this is how we can guarantee to get some amount of value. We haven't drawn any of our cards that get value from discarding them, as much as you can use your alter ego but to put them on top of the deck, which I totally forget. So I think if we do this, we don't want to keep the element gun because we can grab it from the discard pile. And I think I usually grab it from the discard pile, not the deck. As much as grabbing it from the deck thins your deck, grabbing it from the discard pile, the more I've been playing this deck, the more it means that if I don't play it this turn, we're not cooked. Because if we grab the only other element gun from our deck and then we don't play it this turn because we're setting up our Iron Man, we can no longer play any of our sliding shots for a whole deck cycle, and that feels like a problem. So I feel like I usually grab the gun from the discard pile. I don't think we keep any of these. I don't think keeping Comms Mind is worth it. I think the thing that we really want to draw now is Guardians of the Galaxy, and we want to draw 0 copies of Digging Deep or White Fox. So let's give it a rip. Whatever. Fine. Okay. Gutsy move. Okay. And now we do our alter ego ability, and I'll search our discard pile for a copy of Element Gun. Okay, so now we have to do the fun call for aid thing, which is we can have either Iron Man immediately or gain somewhere between 1 to 3 extra resources and a free ally. I have missed on the free ally in all my testing games on the first call for aid rip, which feels terrible, but it is what it is. And otherwise, we need to plan out whether when we play our friend here, Iron Man, whether we actually need to use our Peter Quill ability or our Star-Lord ability. There's a chance that we won't have to use it this turn. So we're going to flip over. We could put a card on top of our deck. Actually, we probably should. We might as well, right? So it says choose a card from your hand, swap that card with the top of your deck. So actually, I don't know even if we should do this. If the card on top of our deck is a card that gets value from discarding, we're in a bad spot because we lose the value. But in theory, we have a shot 2 in whatever this is to draw for the card that we want. In theory, there's more whiffs. It might be right because I think drawing our Guardians of the Galaxy is so important. I'm not going to do it, and we'll get some good results-oriented information whether that was right or not. We'll flip the Star-Lord, and we'll just play Call for Aid. So we're going to discard. We only have one Avenger, so we could have got this in our hand. I mean, that's annoying. So we get no discard, nothing. We get no discard value. We just top decked Iron Man. It would have been so funny if we flipped a card for Iron Man. Whatever. That doesn't matter. Oh boy. Okay, so now we have Iron Man in our hand, which is fine. Now we have to decide how much of this hand we're going to play and if we're going to get an extra encounter card, which mind you, we should already have an encounter card because of Taskmaster. So Iron Man costs 4. That's really awkward because that's going to be 4 cards from our hand. So I think no matter what, we probably play Iron Man for 1 and just take 3 encounter cards this turn. Oh man, why was it like that? We could have got extra encounter cards. We could have got an ally. Oh, next card. Okay, feels bad. Okay, so this card is useless to us. We don't need this. We could play this 1, 2, 3, and then we could play Sliding Shot for 4 to play Iron Man. Then we could play Reinforced Suit for free on Iron Man, and then we could cheat out an Element Gun. And I honestly don't care about Jet Boots that much, but it's actually not a bad Jet Boots turn. Because with Jet Boots, we're going to reduce the next damage by 2. Oh, we're also meant to discard a card to take damage. We take 2 damage from Hydra Sidearm because of Taskmaster's text. It's unfortunate to like save. What about, yeah. It feels weird to save resources on Jet Boots. So I guess if we're going to do that, we would save resources on Iron Man. So we would pay 1 and an encounter card for Iron Man. We'd play Reinforced Suit for free, which we don't have to. We could. So if we're wasting a resource, this gives +2 hit points. It's not bad. It's actually a really good start. Then we have to play all these cards. So we could do 1, 2, 3 for this, and then this is wasted. Or we could do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 for this, and then shoot Element Gun. So basically our decision is whether we want to play Jet Boots or Element Gun. Element Gun is important. We have 1 more in the deck. Firing at this turn is also not bad. Jet Boots is nice because it just gives us less damage, and damage is going to matter, especially this turn. It already reduces 2 damage, and then it'll reduce probably not that much more. I'm going to go for the Element Gun line, so let's try this. So I'm going to use our ability on Hero. We're going to give ourselves another encounter card. And we're going to play Iron Man for 1 resource, who's now in play. Welcome, Iron Man. No, not you. You. Okay. Then we're going to attach for free onto it a Reinforced Suit. This just gives us +2 hit points, so we go up to 5. And it's free because Iron Man says attachments cost 1 fewer. Then we're going to go ahead and play... Wait, we can do everything. Oh no, we can't do everything. We'll do 1, 2, 3 for Element Gun. I'm not 100% sure if this is right. And then either we can hold on to this unique card, which is a 1 of in our deck, or we can just shoot it. I'm just going to shoot it. So I'll discard this, spend a resource, and we'll do 3 damage to the villain. Actually, no, let's not do 3 damage to the villain. Let's go ahead and thwart 2 off of Hydra Patrol. When Hydra Patrol is discarded, we have to search the deck and discard pile for our choice of a Hydra minion and put it into play. So we can do at least 5 damage this turn. So I'm just going to go get something with 3 health. I just want to see if there's anything with a bad one revealed. Insight 1 is not super important. I think that's the worst one. Yeah, that was the one with worst stats. So that's a Hydra Hunter. I'm not going to go out of the way to give it stats because I'm just going to use the Element Gun to shoot it for 3 damage. And that's that. Iron Man is ready. We could attack for 2, thwart for 2. We might as well attack for 2, I think. If we get Iron Man into our discard pile before we deck out, that's fine. Man, we could have had 1 more resource this turn. 2 more resources would have been really sick because we could have set up with Jet Boots as well. But whatever. Yeah, I'll just do 2 damage. It's fine. We don't have to be too precious about this. We are a bit of a rush deck. And then we'll pass. So we have 3 encounter cards coming in. It could be quite bad. Luckily, we have 12 health, so hopefully that holds. 1 card, bad boy. We have Digging Deep. Yeah, hate to draw these. Sky Cycle is really, really good. It allows us to ready Iron Man so we can use those stats a bit faster. Star-Lord's Helmet, which is fine. We'd love to have that this turn. We would have played it for sure. And we have a Sidearm, which gives +1 attack and range to Iron Man. Little Halloween card. Perfectly themed. Okay. This goes to 2. I think we're going to put another threat on it because we're worried about taking more damage. And then Taskmaster's going to attack for 2 in a card. We're not going to block here. We have 1 defend on our hero, so we're just going to take the damage. 1, 2, 3. On a Hydra Soldier, we take 3 damage. Down to 9. 3 encounter cards. First card. Perfect. That's great. Captured by Hydra. You want as many of these as you can get. Well, they have acceleration and they have 5 threat on them. When you clear them, you go get an ally, and the allies are really quite good. So we do have to work on that. And luckily, we have 4 threat between us. Hopefully, we can find an extra threat somewhere. Speaking of extra threat, advance. Good to know where these are. So Hydra scheming for 2 in a card. 3, 4. Master plans out. So this goes to 7. I'm not scared. You're scared. Like, this is what I mean. You can just lose really quickly. And then we have a Hydra regular, which just has Insight 1. And it's back to us. And this is now at 8. So pretty frightening. This is what I mean. The turn. Encounter cards are not great unless you can win. And I don't think our board state's actually super impressive for how late we are here. So with only 1 more advance in the deck, we don't have to be super scared of hunting down heroes popping off. We haven't found our team up yet. These are free. We can play Star-Lord's Helmet, which is not super useful. And then we can cheat down Bad Boy, which is actually probably correct on this turn. That means we're not using Element Gun, but I don't think we have to use Element Gun. So let's just attach our stuff. Sidearm. So +1 attack. So I'm going to start marking the numbers. +3. And we have ranged. So we're at 2 thwart. I have a little ranged pin here. Sometimes it does matter. So it's nice to remember. And then we're also going to attach the Sky Cycle, which I'll leave on this side. Sky Cycle is actually really cool. You can exhaust this to ready attached. So again, this maybe was a reason we should have not attacked last turn. That means we don't use the Element Gun. We can take actually 2 damage. Yeah, we can probably take 2 damage. So 2, 4, 6. We can deal Captured by Hydra. I think we want to do Captured by Hydra before we use Digging Deep. Because Digging Deep is one of the few cards in our deck that has a wild icon, and almost all the allies, in fact, all the allies that you rescue have text that's forced you to spend an icon to do some cool text. And we actually have access to, well, almost every single ally, every sort of card type here. So I'm going to thwart for 2 off of Captured by Hydra. Iron Man's going to thwart for 2 for Captured by Hydra. We're going to Sky Cycle to ready Iron Man. Then Iron Man's going to thwart for 2 for Capture for Hydra, and we're going to clear Captured for Hydra. It goes out. We grab randomly 1 of these. So we'll roll. These are technically not dice, but we'll roll it 1 to 4. Yo, Brennan, how's it going? It's number 2. White Tiger. Oh, that's really good. So White Tiger is now added to our hand and will be added to our deck for the finality of the campaign, for the rest of the campaign. So 0 cost. And after you player, if you spend a mental resource, remove 3 threat from a scheme, which is great. And she thwarts for 3, which is really good. Which means we probably do that and don't play Bad Boy, let's be honest. Yeah. So we'll play White Tiger. She is also considered, of course, to be a guardian, because everybody is. So she comes in with 3 health. And when she enters play, why don't we pay a 1 for 3? So we'll spend this wild. We'll make it a mental, and we'll go 3 here, which is nice. She will thwart for 3, which fixes that issue. I'm feeling pretty confident. If we put our helmet, it's like not that good because we have no encounter cards. And if we cheat the helmet down, it's pretty bad. So like we could just cheat down Bad Boy and use the Element Gun, which I think that's actually what we do here. So Bad Boy is really good. It's just a safety policy. We love a safety policy. So we're going to do our hero text to give ourselves an encounter card to play Bad Boy. That's good. And then we're going to just pitch Star-Lord's helmet to the Element Gun to do 3 damage with piercing. Ghost Meat brought me a bag of swag with World's Life is so good. Yo, you probably have some really good swag. Shout out to Ghost Meat, who I got to spend a fair bit of time with over the weekend. I'm feeling a bit better. I'm still like sniffling and congested. Hopefully Ghost Meat is fine. I know a fair bit of the people I was staying with were like totally healthy, and everyone only gets a bit more sick when they return home. But yeah, I'll be like perfectly fine come Monday for sure. We'll pass. 1. Guardians of the Galaxy, found it. That's sick. And we still have a whole bunch of upgrades. This means our upgrade is a draw engine. Nova Prime, which I don't love this guy. Honorary Guardian, +1 health, Guardian trait. Gutsy move, might not matter. And then the last element gun. Okay, we're in a good spot. He's good? Okay, good. Yeah. This goes to 3. We have to decide. Do we want to take a damage or add 1 threat? I'm feeling pretty confident with Bad Boy. We could take the damage, but we have White Tiger, so we'll just do a threat. We've seen 1 advance so far. Taskmaster is attacking for 2 in a card. We're just going to take it. It's 3 damage. And we have 2 encounter cards waiting for us. First, Weapon Master. This is one that we have to be scared of, so I'm glad we saw this early. The villain attacks you. If there's a weapon attachment that gets surge, luckily nothing. So 2 in a card, no block. 2 more damage. So we're, this is what I mean. We get beat up pretty bad. And then we get Under Fire, which is our first expert card we've seen. Actually, I think we've seen a master plan. So Surge, reveal. Whee! Mimicry. Okay. I'm glad we played Bad Boy. We're getting attacked 3 times. So discard the top 5 cards of your deck. We're looking for an attack card. We found an attack card. Okay. So if an attack card was discarded this way, Taskmaster attacks you. So we're going to be attacked for 2 in a card. We're going to take 4 damage, lose a captured by Hydra, which will defeat us. But this is why we play our insurance policy. So Bad Boy says, when you would take lethal damage, discard this. Jump to Alter Ego, draw 2 cards. Another Guardians and Leader of the Guardians. Okay. Last card, captured by Hydra. That's perfect. So there's 4 in the deck. We've lost 1. We've drawn 2. And we should be able to clear that with a gutsy move if we really put our mind to it. And let alone now, look at all these cards we have. This is what I mean where I think our recovery is really important, because the only way that we can go toe-to-toe with Taskmaster now is spamming out allies. And I think we have 2 more allies in our deck. We have Gamora and White Fox. Because being up on, 6 health probably isn't enough. Especially because we take damage when we jump up. Okay. So again, we're setting up really well. Iron Man's also like, we could defeat Iron Man this round. Iron Man will get +1 health from this and we'll draw a card. So we want to schedule our turn around that. So ideally we get a card that gets Iron Man +1 thwart, because +1 thwart would be really good. Actually, no, the 2 of them together can just deal with this. We don't have to worry about that. So no matter what here, we can search something, swap something with the top of our deck. That's interesting. We're not going to discard the top of the deck. So it's like, do you want to make this turn better or this turn worse? I always forget about this ability. And it just like, this ability has no synergy with the rest of Peter Quill's kit, which is kind of funny. But in theory, like it's a pseudo card draw as much as you're pushing a problem down the line. I think there's no shot we play the element gun here. So I think, or like there's no shot we play Nova Prime here. So I think we can do this and hope that we draw an upgrade. Oh, we drew Gamora. Okay. So we'll put that on top. We could play Gamora and Gamora could discard Nova Prime, which is fine. That's maybe okay. But here I think we're going to use our alter ego to recover for 4. So we go up to 6 and we'll take a blow nose break. It feels absurd to block with Iron Man with all these attachments on it, but like at some point when Iron Man's on 1 health, like might as well. All right, we'll flip up. I don't think we have a huge reason to take more encounter cards this round. Let's try and find out what this is. Actually, that was probably bad that we did the swap, because Nova Prime has a star icon on it, and there's a chance we'll get one of the 3 allies wants a star icon. So I think that swap was like strictly wrong. We can draw this card though, so actually maybe not. Okay, so we always play Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't think we play Gutsy move that does 2 threats. So we'll throw out Gutsy move and we'll throw out this extra Guardians of the Galaxy. And so we played this Guardians of the Galaxy. Again, the theme on this I don't totally get. The art is good fun. I think I recognize most of these characters. And so now we have our 1 team and each of our characters are Guardians because of our hero text. And so now anytime we play an upgrade on an ally, draw a card. So we'll play Honorary Guardian. I don't have the card out for this apparently. I think I mislabeled it. So it gives Iron Man the Guardian trait again, +1 health, and now we can draw a card. And this thing doesn't exhaust. It's really, really good. Okay, so Iron Man will thwart for 2 off of this. White Tiger will finish it, thwart for 3 off of that. This clears, you know the drill. Removed from the game. We have to roll a die. 1, 2 on left, 5, 6 on right. We get the middle card. It's Elektra. This one's the boring one, the damage one, right? Yeah, it's Elektra. Weird, this is the only time we've seen Elektra so far in the game, but I think we're hoping for a cycle that remedies this. So that's more damage, which we don't really need. So I think we just play Leader of the Guardians and we play Electra. And I think that's fine. I don't think we actually need our second gun that much. Second gun is good because you're doing 6 damage around for 2 resources. Like, that's kind of nice. Maybe it's actually better that we get damage and threat. I don't see us 100% needing the leader. But if we're not firing this gun, it feels a bit silly. We could also like get an encounter card, but I'm not super comfortable with it. I think we've taken a lot of encounter cards so far, and I don't think we have a sliding shot ready. Well, not this turn. We obviously don't. I think the bottom of our deck actually has a whole lot of upgrades. I'm just going to check really quickly and shuffle. We know White Fox is in there, but yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 upgrades. So we'll draw through our deck really quickly. I guess it's thematically that Guardians show up for each other. Yeah, but like the whole leadership faction is about showing up for each other. Like, I don't think you're wrong. It's just like it focuses on the allies part. Or sorry, on the upgrades part, which is like, feels more like a technologist kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe it was a mechanics first cycle where they're like, hey, we want to do upgrades. And like, I respect that. Upgrades are cool. Okay, so I think we do play Electra. Electra's text is the same as Element Gun, so it doesn't matter if we do or don't do it. And then I think we'll just play... We have 3 allies, so we can't really play Gamora here without trashing someone. A pretty tech-focused team, I suppose. Yeah, maybe you're right. All of the upgrades that are from the Guardians themed are like super, super tech-based. And some of them are actually like kind of funny. Do we want leader or do we want Element Gun? I think we want Element Gun. I think we want more damage. We could have taken an encounter card here. I'm trying to be a bit cautious, which like maybe that's anti-Peter Quill, but... So now we have Electra. We'll just Sky Cycle Iron Man. We might not use Iron Man. Actually, we probably do use Iron Man. So Electra will attack for 3. Iron Man. Wait, sorry. Do any of these give Iron Man more health? If not, we want to defeat Iron Man. No, none of these give Iron Man more health. I don't think we're going to have to block with Iron Man, so I'm going to leave Iron Man like this. And then next round, we'll attack twice, or we'll Sky Cycle no matter what. And then we'll get Iron Man back in the deck to cycle the deck. They are a tech team. One member is literally a tree. Yeah, but like a tree with a gun. Actually, that's not even true usually. One of them really likes tech. Okay, we'll pass. Not using the gun's pretty silly, but we're off. 1, 2. Some resources. 3. Oh no, not this sort of hand. We really need to draw upgrades so that we can cycle this hand. Oh god. Oh god, this hand is terrible. Oh, this hand is so bad. Call for Aid will get us an ally. It will deck us out. So at least we can like get rid of Iron Man, but like that is definitely a clunker of a hand. This gets us White Fox and empties our deck. We really need a way to draw a card here. I don't know if we're going to find it. All right, this goes to 5. We can take a damage or put it to 6. I think 6 is fine. There's only one more advance in the deck. Taskmaster attacks for 2 and a card. We can block with White Tiger, whose 3 thwart's actually pretty valuable this round, so we'll just take it. 1, 2, 3. Encounter card. Oh, I got a knife. You call that a knife? This is a knife. So piercing doesn't matter. +1 attack matters. It's actually fine that we draw this on this turn because we can get rid of it with our plethora of useless cards. So it's back to us. So I think we just want to fill our bin. We could jump down to Alter Ego and clear this and just kind of regroup. I think we probably do that this turn. So very weird turn. We'll threat for 3. Not a die. Goes down to 3. Electra will attack for 3. Iron Man will attack for 3, I guess. We'll Sky Cycle to ready Iron Man, and Iron Man will attack for 3 more. Iron Man is defeated. We have broken Iron Man, but we have put all his requisite parts back into the bin in a way that we would consider heroic. Okay, so we can advance here, no problem. I just don't remember if Taskmaster 3 has bad tax. I think you just get an encounter card. Yeah, you just get an encounter card. On 3 health, we can't really take an attack, let alone Taskmaster will be attacking for 4. So I think we just bail here. So I'm going to spend 2 to get rid of the knife as a hero action. It needs physical and a mental. 2 wilds work. I think we're going to recover. This is going to go to 4. We're going to get 2 encounter cards because we're going to deck out. This can go up to 5. I think we just run away. So we will. Oh man, I want to shoot though. I have shooting stuff. We'll do Call for Aid. So we discard a whole deck. We discard White Fox. When White Fox is discarded from your deck, you put her into play. So she enters play. We keep discarding all the upgrades we wanted to draw. Literally everything else is upgrades besides build support. We've decked out, so we get an encounter card. This goes into our discard pile, and we shuffle our deck. I think this misses the cycle, if I'm not wrong. Energy and Genius missed the cycle too, but like not a big deal. We could have discarded them for paying the cost. I think you can overpay for like costs on the attachments. But if we element gun, oh, she's ready. It's a bit awkward. I think we just like thwart for 1 with White Fox, run away and recover. We also can remember we can do emergency teleportation, but I think we're in a pretty comfortable spot here that we don't need to. Okay, so do we want to shoot twice to do 6 damage and get another encounter card? I don't think we need to risk it. I feel like watching someone playing Star-Lord and then hearing them say, I don't think we need to risk it is probably not where you want to be. But we'll flip down and we'll recover for 4. Oh, we can do the thing where we swap this with the top of our deck and hope for an installable. Beans. This card costs 3. Totally always forget about that ability. Oh, she will thwart for 1. I think we'll hold on to Bad Boy because it's good, and then we'll just discard Genius because we want to find Iron Man. And we'll pass. We drop 1, 2, 3. Honorary Guardian's fine. Digging Deep, don't love to draw that. Laser Blaster, and Daring Escape, which we are within range of ending the game in a single turn by setting up a lot of encounter cards and then doing our sliding slot shot. We'll put this to 4. We won't take the damage. Taskmaster will scheme for 2 in a card. It's plus boost on Hydra Hunter. If you're in hero form, take a damage. Otherwise, place 1 threat on the main scheme. Okay, so functionally, it's like he schemed for 3. So this goes to 7. Then we have 2 encounter cards. First, Banishment. This is our one of our obligations. So either we exhaust Peter Quill, or that we can throw one of our guns out into the ocean. I don't think our hand is that smart. It's not that clever of a hand. I would say this is a bad hand. Maybe we can do something where we swap the top card of our deck and it's okay, and we go somewhere. Like 2 guns, we've already paid for it. If we exhaust, we like remove 4 health or we lose 2 threat. The second gun is like our luxury gun. I'm going to get rid of our luxury gun, unfortunately. Okay, and then this is just discarded. Ooh, photographic reflexes. Never seems like a thing you can have. When a player attacks Taskmaster, prevent all that damage, deal an equal amount of damage back, then discard this. And it says when a player attacks. I don't know if a player is an ally. I think a player is only a hero, but I could be totally wrong about that. If someone can rules check me on that, I would appreciate the confidence. But I think here, it's only when we attack. Which means our element gun will hurt us, which is kind of fun. Okay, it's back to us. I think we have to swap at the top of our deck. We have no way to discard, but if we swap the Digging Deep, and then we draw either Gamora or Call for Aid. That's fine. Oh, actually, no. We can draw cards by attaching these, so yeah, it's okay. That's probably fine. Because we have to do it as, oh, actually, no. No, we have to do it in hero mode. Because we only play this if we're a Guardian, and we're not a Guardian in Alter Ego mode. All right, 7th ward's a lot. Let's not pretend it's not a lot. So I don't know if we can afford to recover for 3 here. Daring Escape, I'm not feeling very confident about, but this hand is like kind of bad. It's actually really quite bad. So I think we just need to draw a couple cards and see what's good. So swapping with the top of our deck was silly, but it doesn't really actually change anything. Excuse me. I'm disgusting. I'll flip. We're going to go ahead and, before we make decisions, we'll just attach things to things. So Honorary Guardian, I can't show the art, but it gives +1 health. And we've attached to a Guardian, so we draw a card. We'll make White Fox an Honorary Guardian as well. Welcome to the team. She was already a Guardian. Draws a card. Ooh, our friend is here. It is Iron Man. Someone's getting an encounter card. Yeah, there's no way we're not taking an encounter card here. Let's take an encounter card. Let's do our ability. Oops. When I tab away and then I start typing and I hit enter, I'm really worried I'm going to like stop the stream or something. So we're going to take an encounter card. We're going to throw out 1 resource, and we're going to play Iron Man for 1. Comes in with 3 health, but we will be changing that a fair bit. Unfortunately, the Guardians are out, the honoraries. We'll give it a Laser Blaster, which gives +1 attack and overkill. Draws a card. We can't play the card that we just drew. So now we're at 3 attack, 2 health. Or sorry, 3 health. And overkill, we have a button for that, I think. Okay. Threat's the issue here. I think we're just going to dump our hand into a bad boy. I don't think we want to Daring Escape this turn, so I'll play bad boy. We get attack for 2. We end up taking 2 damage, but then we can open the way from the guns. I think we have to attack for 2 here, because I think we have enough thwart on the table. Now I kind of wish that we didn't play the second gun and we played the extra thwart, because this adds up a lot. So we'll thwart for... We'll attack for 2, I guess. So photographic reflex kicks in when a player attacks, prevent all the damage, deal the same amount of damage back, and discard this. So we go down to 5. Then we can discard this to element gun, do 3. Oh, which advances? F it. We advance Taskmaster 3. When revealed, deal each player an encounter card. We have 17 health, so we might be able to win next turn. If we draw well, we should be able to do it. So villain set 17. And same text. Oh, we were meant to take damage when we flipped up. Shiza. So we're taking 1 damage. We forgot the text on Taskmaster. So we're at 4 health, but with Bad Boy, we actually want to take 4 damage. So we flip down with 4 damage. This is a bit scary. So we're going to thwart for 2. We're going to thwart for 1. We're going to thwart for 1. We'll use the thwart there. I know she attacks for more, but what can we do? We'll pass. We might be able to win next turn. Let's draw up. 1. Gutsy move. Okay, we want sliding attack. Sliding shot. There it is. 2. That's good. 3. The next card we want is the 0-coster Daring Escape, because we just want more encounter cards. We didn't get IPAC on the table, so we don't have that many ways to get us encounter cards. But the more encounter cards, the better for this turn. Sliding shot. Okay. And build support, which can get us IPAC. We actually might have a play here. Unfortunately, no upgrades, which is a bummer, but not too bad. This goes to 4, and I think we actually end up taking a damage here. Yeah, I think we end up taking a damage here. Nah. Because we're going to be drawing 3 encounter cards when we're alter ego. Yeah, I think we take a damage here. All right, so Taskmaster is now attacking us for 3 and a card. We, in theory, could block with one of our allies, but I think we have a chance of winning next turn because 17 damage is not that much. So we want to be defeated to be knocked down with Bad Boy, which means we want to take the damage because this brings us +2 cards and the ability to swap at the top of the deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be awful, but we fly away in Bad Boy. When you would be defeated, don't. And draw 2. Daring Escape, that's what we wanted, and Power Gloves is also just such a fun card. Now we have to just survive 3 encounter cards, and we should have lethal here if we survive this. So, first card. Exhaustion. No! Exhaust your identity. This is the last expert card. You do just draw into like more encounter cards when you play Star-Lord. So like if you don't love drawing Shadows of the Past, it just happens. It has Surge more consistently than anything else. There's the last advance. That's bad, obviously, but not too bad. 3 in a card. 4. So this goes to 8. You have to watch out when you're hovering at about 11 because there's just a bit of Insight 1 in this scenario. Hydra regular, talk about Insight 1. Insight 1, so we just have to put 1 threat here. And last card, laser rifle. This doesn't matter. Okay. So there's a chance that we have it here. We just need to plan our turn. We can't do anything in Alter Ego, but all we want to do is get as many encounter cards as possible. We have on the table 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. Sliding shot is another 7 damage. We have 14 damage. We have the gun. We have lethal here. So we're just going to try and make a show of it because we already have lethal on the table. Sliding shot being a 0 for 7 is really good because in theory, this is already like 2 of these on its own is 14 damage. Very, 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 very good. And then this is 17 damage. So this is what I mean is like you have those burst turns, but ideally you just want to full send it on a turn and close the game. Oh, we can ready ourselves with Daring Escape. Okay, so we're going to swap the card with the top of our deck. Are we going to discard the top of the deck soon? Not soon, but we'll swap this, I think, with the top of our deck. It doesn't really matter. Okay, that's good. But if we play this, we'll draw. Again, I've played so many games and totally forgot about this ability. It's just feels so weird with the rest of this kit, but this makes more sense in other heroes. And we'll flip into hero mode, which, hold the phone. When we flip up, there's a chance we could just lose the game, I'm realizing. I don't think I've ever lost to this. But if we flip up and there's a 3 boost on the top of the deck, we just die. Oh, sorry, it's on Taskmaster. Yo, after play changes the hero form, they discard the top card of the deck and take damage equal to number of boost icons on that card. A lot of the expert cards have 3 boosts. We've seen a couple 3 boosters so far. What's the chance we just flatline here? Excuse me? Like, we can't recover. Do we risk it? I think we have to risk it. We can't give ourselves +1 by attaching Honorary Guardian to ourselves for like multiple reasons. I think we have to risk it here just that the flip isn't a 3 boost. Huh. Otherwise, we just don't have enough damage. We'll flip. This could be it. I guess we die. I'm glad I remembered that was a thing, but yeah, we just died to that. Wait, there was no way around that. The 1 damage that we took off of not putting on hunting for heroes actually cost us the game. We were like, let's not put threat on it, let's take the damage. And we could have been on 4. And I think 4 is such a big difference. But I think at the end of the day, we expected ourselves to be ready so we could always just like panic recover here because we recover for 4. But the 1 threat versus 1 damage on hunting down heroes last turn actually mattered because currently here we take 3 damage. That is hilarious. Let's like just play it out because obviously we have lethal here to see what we can do. But yeah, that actually did cost us the game. That's very funny. Otherwise we would do something like this. We could play build support just to like stunt. We don't have an easy 3 thwart. So actually, no, it's probably not worth it. Let's just take that back. Yeah, I don't think we have to stunt here. I think we just do like take an encounter card. This does 7. And then we do 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And well, we can play another one to do more damage, let alone we can draw so many extra cards. Oh my god, that counts as a loss. That's really, really funny. I don't think we're going to run this one back because I think we can prove it's doable. We made 1 bad decision there at the end and got a bit unlucky. I wonder how many more 3 boosts are in the deck. There was 2. So we had a 1 in 6 chance of dying there if we like had perfect information on the deck. So those are still like really good odds. Yeah, we lost to the 1 in 6 because we made that decision. Very, very funny. That's this deck. We didn't like go full like miracle on Iron Man, and we did spread out a bunch of our upgrades, but like you see where the Iron Man engine is actually really quite cool, and all the upgrades just give you value and push you forward and draw through your deck. I think our early game wasn't as explosive as I've seen before, but it felt pretty good, and we were meant to be drawing a couple cards here. Not that these cards are really super useful. Great, that's fun. I don't mind that at all. I think emotionally that's a win, but on paper that's a really funny loss. Okay. Let's continue on. I think the next one's actually a lot harder. I remember when I was getting into the game, the jump between Taskmaster, who felt like relatively similar to Crossbones, and then playing against Zola was like a really big difference in difficulty. And I think that there is some truth to that. Let's see what it looks like. So I think we don't need any of these cards in Zola. So I'm just going to like grab all of the standard cards and go from there. How's everyone doing today? It's a Sunday. I know. I'm a broken record at this point. It feels bad not to have any of the new content. So if you're like watching Marvel Champion stuff on YouTube and you want to see like some Civil War, show me some PvP, I'm with you too. And I'm in the really ugly camp too, where like I haven't been watching any of the new content because I want to keep it as something I can discover on my own as well, which like, yeah, feels bad. Hopefully that gets sorted out sometime really quickly. These, we didn't get Shang-Chi, who can stun, and Moon Knight, who can draw. Both very, very good. This is a deck that has no like stun or confuse, which is like, I would say relatively uncommon for a deck that I build. Usually like you run into 1 copy of Prof X at a minimum. But this deck, yeah, just very few allies. Okay, so this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2. We're missing cards here, no? There should be 7 standard cards. Yeah, we're definitely messing this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then there should be... I'm missing 2 weapons. The laser rifle and the retaliate one. Glad I checked. Yeah. Cool. Let's go on. Zola time. Oh, it's so far out of reach. That was a deep reach. So Zola's cool. There's a lot of allies. This is the scenario where like getting down your energy gun is like really, really valuable because many of the allies you run into, sorry, the minions you run into have toughness. And so you want to deal with that. Let's see what we're dealing with. We're doing encounter set. No, scenario set. Zola. So Zola, real fun one. This is the one where minions really start to feel like they matter. So Zola has 10 minions and then 7 attachments that all attach to the minions. We're playing with under attack, which this is one of the few boxes in the history of the game that actually uses encounter sets from the core set, which is something that's like really common in like Arkham Horror, but not super common in this game. We have to set all this stuff up and we go to the island of Dr. Zola. All right, island of Dr. Zola. 1A, we're playing with Zola standard, just like you saw there. Search encounter deck for Hydra Prison and reveal it. So Hydra Prison, I'll show you the text in a second, but it's going to capture a Nova Prime. Each player searches the encounter deck for a copy of Ultimate Bioservant and put it into play. We have one here, and then shuffle the encounter deck. In terms of the campaign, I don't think there's any big differences. Technically, we lost. Imagine we won, and the reward for winning the campaign is we get to keep Elektra and we get to keep whoever we rescued. So it was Elektra and White Tiger. So I'm just going to play on as if they're in our deck. Shuffle the encounter deck. The Ultimate Bioservant. 4 health, toughness, and every attachment gives it +1 attack. So you have to deal with these before they get out of hand. 1 attack is not bad on its own, but then when you get something that gives a +2 attack and then +2 health, like it obviously gets out of hand and you need to deal with it. Hero set 10. We are set 10. Villain set retaliate 1, 14 health. And villain name Zola. Okay, Hydra Prison. This is a very fun theme thing. So you have to grab your identity specific ally, which is going to be our big old Nova Prime, and attach it to Hydra Prison. When we defeat Hydra Prison, we get the ally into our hand, but this gets additional threat equal to the cost of the ally. So this is one of the worst case scenarios where there's 6 threat here. Technically, the threat doesn't matter unless campaign mode. That's it. But that's all it is. When defeated, remove the scheme from the game and add the ally to the owner's hand. Also, because we're playing on expert, we're going to start with test subjects, but I guess we'll just show the island of Dr. Zola. So this is like kind of the text on Magneto. Every turn that you put a counter on here at step 1, you also put a test counter. And then if there are 3 or more test counters, you discard cards until you put a minion into play, you don't reveal, and then you remove only 3 test counters. So this means every couple turns, you'll just be getting another minion. And because you get the minion during step 1, that minion will activate against you after Zola attacks. So, or thwarts, or excuse me, schemes. So you actually end up taking a fair bit of extra kind of minion value against you, which is cool because not a lot of times minions don't survive. We also now have Zola 2. Zola 2 comes in with Retaliate, 14 health. When revealed, search for test subjects put into play. 2 scheme to attack, but very low health, but Retaliate is annoying. This is the first villain to have Retaliate naturally, if I'm not mistaken. And it's annoying if you're attacking for 2. So luckily, we're going to be ideally giving Iron Man ranged by giving a certain weapon, which helps a heck of a lot. Then we have test subjects, which is something we're only going to clear on turn 1. Comes in with 2 threat. Has that sort of hazard icon. And it says the first player discards cards from the top of the counter deck and you reveal that minion. There are some quick strike minions in the deck, so you actually have a chance that you want to do this in alter ego to save the 2 or 3 damage that comes in. So we'll try and make it make sense, but we don't want to draw another encounter card as much as that's our thing. We'll see how good our setup is and how many encounter cards we're taking on turn 1. I missed it, but I looked it up, and photographic reflexes does prevent damage from allies attacks as well. Oh, that's huge, yes. That would have changed our turn, I think. We would have attacked. I think we might have not had White Tiger by then, but that was 2 damage that we took just for the fun of it, where we could have threat for 2 and then attacked at someone else. Thank you for checking. That's actually really, really, really useful to remember. I don't understand it. Like, I think the rules got more clear as the game progressed, and they talked about it when they were making this box. There's a lot of different designers working on different parts. So when it says the player attacks, I don't think that's the terminology that they modernly use, but I could be wrong about that. But that's good to know. I have no doubt I have Googled that at one point in time. All right, this is shuffled. We have to give our deck a shuffle. Happy to help. Yeah, appreciate it. It takes a village to play this game right on some days. Still very always glad to try and get there. Okay. Oh, I do want to just check. Our +4 like health thing, at some point it upgrades in the campaign. I think it only upgrades after Zola. Yeah, if we Hydra Prison clear, we can upgrade it and then we draw a card. Basically, players make all attacks. Really? That's not intuitive. I mean, I get it. But it's like when it says the villain attacks you. Okay, whatever. I see what we're getting at here. And yeah, fine. Because the player is initiating the attack by telling it's their card to attack. I kind of get it. Okay. We're off. There's 2 schemes, mind you. This one only has 6 threat, and it's very easy to accidentally let 6 threat go through on a turn that you draw like 3 encounter cards. If you're not super diligent about bottoming it out. But we're off. Our mulligan's always really fascinating because we want to get that turn 1 Iron Man every time and hopefully get a white tiger for free out the same, which I've still not gotten yet for some reason. Guardians of the Galaxy, we almost always keep this. This card's just really, really good unless we draw 2. It is a big part of our engine. I mean, that's good. That's really, really good. Now, if we draw a call for aid, it's just like guaranteed +3 resources and a card. No, this is the card that we wanted. Okay, so it's like every card that we brought up, we've been drawing so far. So unfortunately, we're not getting a free. No, we can still get a free white fox. We can put on top of the deck. Element gun, literally every card we would get. Sliding shot, we don't need that. Element gun actually is definitely worth playing because it has piercing, which again for bioservants, very good. And call for aid. Whoa, that's sick. Okay, so this means this guarantees, and we put her on top of the deck, that we get everything we want. So I'm very happy with this hand. The best thing we could get is a double to play Guardians of the Galaxy easily, but we're going to discard these 2. We will keep White Fox because we can put her on top of the deck and she's like a pseudo toughness clearer, and we'll just draw 2 more. Fine. Interesting. And that's that. We'll use our ability so we can either search our deck or a discard pile to get the element gun. I'm going to search our discard pile just so that we have a chance if we don't play this that we don't have to wait a whole deck cycle, I think. I think that's usually correct. And then here, I'm going to swap White Fox to the top of the deck. It's a daring escape using our alter ego ability. And from this point forward, we're gaming. I think we're really proper gaming here. So we're going to flip up to Peter Quill. We have to now decide whether we're going to play Iron Man for 4 or whether we're going to play Iron Man for 1. If we play Iron Man for 4, no, we're not playing Iron Man for 4. So I'll play Iron Man using our hero ability, taking an encounter card. Don't worry about that too much. And we're going to be discarding Daring Escape. So we'll play Iron Man here for functionally 1 resource. Iron Man Leadership. I'm going to go ahead and put the dice here just because I know the numbers are going to go up in a moment. Next. Oh, we're just going to draw another encounter card. Oh, we're not ready for how dangerous this is, so we're off. Maybe we don't play this for 4. I'm realizing in hindsight, maybe we don't. Because Call for Aid is going to give us +3 resources. We can do this first. Use those 3 resources. It's like kind of a wash. But okay, so after we play Call for Aid here, what's going to happen functionally is we're going to draw 3 Digging Deeps, and we're going to free White Fox, but we'll get another encounter card because we deck out. We also have to decide whether we want to play these cards first or later, but I don't think there's a big decision point there. But now we have 3 more cards in our hand. So imagine we have these 3 cards in our hand. So what are we doing with these 3 cards? Because these 3 cards plus this could play Iron Man, Comms Implant Cycles. No, I think we still need to cheat it out. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. We'll draw a lot of encounter cards on turn 1. It's the turn that we're the most likely to survive. And in fact, we have 14 health. We need to remember that. So let's do it. I think we just call for aid here before we put any more cards in the discard pile. So call for aid. We discard cards until we find an Avenger. There's no Avengers in our deck. So White Fox hits the table. Good thing we were able to set that up. So we have 3 threat. Sorry, 3 health. And then we discard our whole deck. This is technically in limbo. But we get every single copy of Digging Deep because they were discarded, and then we add those to our hand. Then we shuffle our discard pile, we get another encounter card, and it's back to us. Call for 8 is the only card in our discard pile. Okay, good start so far. Really good start so far. The question is now, I think we want to just set up our Guardians of the Galaxy team up, or team card, excuse me, and then we just want to draw a couple cards by setting up a bigger Iron Man, and then we're going to pop test subjects and see what happens. We're in no rush to clear Hydra Prison. It's something we'll do by the end of the scenario, but it's like, it's not a big deal. Okay, so then I think we're just going to do 2 here for Guardians of the Galaxy. So now anytime we attach an attachment, we draw a card, as long as it's to a Guardian, which we will. So we're going to give a comms implant to Iron Man. This hits a big breakpoint, +1 thwart, +1 health. And we draw a card. It's a strength. Ooh, that's useful. Okay. Probably need to blow my nose 1 second. Great. Good, good, good. So here we can play like 3 for the element gun and then use leader to like fuel the element gun. That's probably correct. Because I think getting piercing on the ultimate bioservant is worth so much, and then White Fox can clear ultimate bioservant. So we will do that. 1, 2, 3 for the element gun. This is a good setup turn. Damn. So now we have the element gun, which we can spend a resource. So maybe we should figure out what's in this box before we do anything else. So let's thwart for 2. Yeah, we'll thwart for 2 up the test subjects. Then once this is cleared, we discard cards from the top of the deck until a minion is revealed. We've revealed Zola's Mutate. This actually is going to whiff, I think. So Zola's Mutate comes in with 5 health, 2 attack. Discard cards, never mind, from the top of the counter deck until we get an attachment. Attach that card to Zola's Mutate. This is the one that you want to put into play, not reveal. Unfortunately, we had to reveal it. So we're looking for an attachment. We found defensive programming. Got rid of master plan, which is not that bad in this scenario. The defensive programming says attach to a minion +2 hit points and gains guard. So 7 health Mutate is a big number. This is where you want to actually play like our Nova card that discards things. It has guard, which easy to forget that. Okay, so we can deal with the ultimate bioservant and just take 2 from Zola's Mutate. That's probably the plan here. So I'm going to spend 1 with the element gun. Again, very important. This thing has piercing, so it does 3 damage and takes the toughness off. Cool. And then White Fox will knock out the ultimate bioservant. And Iron Man will probably just attack for 2 here. And we'll pass. Draw 5. 1. It's a gutsy move. That can do some work, clearing Hydra Prison if we want. We have a Daring Escape. Don't love to play those early. Helmet's fine. Bad Boy's great. And Power Glove is really nice. It's another kind of like pseudo toughness. But I love cards like this that they functionally give you +1 stat, which like doesn't sound super interesting, but it's flexible how you can use it. And I like that a lot. Okay, so the island of Dr. Zola. We put 1 threat here, and we put 1 test counter, which I'll use this thematic. Let's just do purple. It's Zola's color. And now Zola is attacking. This is Zola 2, is attacking for 2 in a card. We have no interest blocking this. 2 damage, losing an advance. That's good. We'll take 2. And then Zola's Mutate will attack for 2 more. So we take 4 damage that turn. And now we draw 3 encounter cards and hope for the best. That's 3, yeah. First. Under attack. You have to really watch out because this scenario has the under attacks, encounter set in it. And it has that 1 card that does 1 damage to everybody. So you never want to keep your important allies at 1 as chump blocks because you can just lose it. Under attack. Each player chooses to either place 2 threat here or deal 3 damage to their hero. I'm going to put 2 threat here. We'll put 5. That's probably fine. Yeah, we have like 5 threat amongst us. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have looked at those cards. I was trying to look at my hand. Doesn't really matter. We don't have any decisions to make. Under fire. Expert. So when revealed, surge. When revealed, Zola's experiments. Okay, things are bad now. So why you don't draw too many encounter cards. So Zola's experiments, force response. After a minion enters play, attach the encounter discard pile's top tech attachment to it. 3 threat acceleration. Okay, not good. Energy shield. Zola has double retaliate. Not good. But we have no interest in attacking for a bit. And then our new card is Gang Up. Okay, that's bad. So, welcome to drawing. How many encounter cards did we draw that round? You didn't give yourself an encounter card when flipping up to hero? Eric, how's it going? When flipping up to hero. Why should we get an encounter card when we were flipping up to hero? Did I miss something? I'm not sure if we were meant to for flipping up to hero. We gained one from using our Star-Lord ability, but I think that's the only one that we were meant to get. We got the one off of test subject. And I think that's it. We got one from decking out. So I think we got the decking out one. So we had 2 on the table from decking out in our ability. And then the third one came from the natural, and that became 2 more. So I think that was right. We drew 5 that turn. We still have to be ganged up. So Zola's attacking for 2 in a card. We're not blocking. Ooh, this is the bad one. Concussive Blast. So this is deal 1 damage to each character you control. So that includes us. So then we take 2 more. And then we'll take 2 more from Zola's Mutate. So we're down to like 5. Oh, not that Concussive Blast, but Treachery. This card is like, there's a card exactly like this if you ever played the Lord of the Rings LCG, and it's a card that you have to learn to play around. And I'm glad that it's alive and well here, and it's equally like terrifying. And the art is, I think, kind of similar, kind of like the reds and yellows, but it's been a moment. Okay, board state's bad. Board state's quite bad. We might do a tactical retreat and drop down, but we also might do a tactical bad boy. Bad boy might be fine here. After minion enters play on Zola's experiments, that is not something. There's actually no tech attachments in here, so it doesn't really have text yet, but like at some point it will have text, and it has an acceleration, which is not good. Iron Man lost a health. Our hand has upgrades, so I think no matter what, we go ahead and attach the Power Gloves. Because Power Gloves is not a stat boost, I will put it to the side slightly here, but this will draw a card for us. So we drew a Daring Escape, which I don't think this is the turn that we pop off with Daring Escapes. Zola's Mutate we probably should knock down. And this does 3 attack. We can do 2 attack. I think this might be a really boring turn. Like this might just be like Bad Boy Run Away. It's so funny to say Bad Boy and Run Away in the same turn, but this might be just Bad Boy Shoot Run Away. Because Gutsy Move is not very good unless we do 4th threat for it, but an encounter card for 2 threat is just not a good turn. Like this is break in case of emergency, and this is like bad, but it's not emergency bad. So I think we're going to play Bad Boy, and we'll do 1, 2, 3. Doesn't really matter. So Bad Boy is our insurance policy, which we might cash in this turn or the next. White Fox might just chump block at some point. So Element Gun to shoot Zola's Mutate. So we can either do, I think we do Iron Man. So Iron Man will thwart for 3. Thwarting seems more important. We'll clear Zola's experiments. And then the Power Gloves will kick on. And then we can remove 1 threat or do 1 damage to an ally. Oh no, it's only deal 1 damage to an enemy. Oh, it's not an attack, so I guess we can hit Zola. Oh no, let's hit Zola's Mutate. And then we'll just use White Fox to knock at Zola's Mutate. And she will succumb to Consequential. Okay, so here we can decide to jump down or not. If we stay up here, we're unlikely to die. If Zola hits us for 5, like, okay, it's not the worst. We just Bad Boy out. Otherwise, we're not doing that much this turn. Like this turn, I think we thwart for 2. Or we can jump down and recover for 4. Recover for 4 is good. This will go to 2. Zola will do 3, 4. It's likely to advance to 6. We want to actually technically advance next round because when you advance, it clears all these counters, and these counters pop on 3. So advancing tactically the main scheme from when it's on 2, you rewind counters down to 0, I think. Unless when you advance, you put 1 counter on it, but that might just be me thinking about Magneto. So that's actually like sometimes right to advance when this is on 2. Yeah, these dice look so much better. I'm glad I made that change. If you're wondering why there's the pluses and minuses on the side, it tells you which side you want to tip the die to get to that corresponding thing. I was like really stressed about these because I'm very good. I'm very good at counting to 7, but in theory, you know which is on all sides of the die. And so like going from 4 to 3 is 2 sides. And I thought it would mess me up, but it's like, it's not that bad. I think we'll just take it. I think this might be a fine turn to drop down, but I think we'll just work on this. Actually, no. Do we drop down? Draw more cards? Because what happens if we're not defeated by Bad Boy? We have to stay here on 1 health and then we have to drop down. Nah, dropping down next turn is fine though. Yeah, we'll take 2. I know we'll stay. Hopefully we don't have to pop Bad Boy this turn. We'll drop 1. It's a genius. Let's give us some more upgrades that give health. And now another element gun. Call for 8 is entirely useless. It just decks us out because every single copy of all our discard synergy cards are in our discard pile. Honorary Guardians +1 health. Inspired is +1 thwart, +1 attack, and that's it. Okay. This goes to 2. This goes to 2. Zola's attacking for 2 in a card. I mean, we just take it. 1 boost here is give the villain a tough status. We don't care about that too much. We have piercing if we need it. So that's 2 damage. We are alive. And we get 1 encounter card. It is another test subjects. So we haven't seen a lot of minions as much as this will become a minion, but we've seen a fair bit more of these side schemes. So a whole pile of these to deal with. Okay. Let's just start building again. Honorary Guardian. Can't show this card for some reason, but that's +1 health. Guardian status, draw a card. We'll go ahead and attach Inspired, which on 1 health, 2 health seems a bit bad. So this gives +1 thwart, +1 attack. So we get a bit bigger. Go Ultron Go. That draws a card because of our team up again. Or sorry, team card. We have the Daring Escapes, but the more I play this deck, the more I realize don't play those cards. Daring Escape is usually not what you want to be doing unless it actually really matters. So we can thwart for 4. I think Element Gun should deal with most things that show up from test subjects. So I think we're going to thwart for 2, clear test subjects. And when you clear test subjects, I think we discard until we get a minion and we reveal it. 1. Nice. No Shadows of the Past. No, not you again. Because we have to reveal this one. And this one reveals really poorly. Quick Strike 1, I don't know if it does 3 damage or 2 damage. That actually might have been a problem. Discard cards from the top of the counter deck until attack attachment. Pain Inhibitors. I saw the next card, so we'll shuffle. So this is Pain Inhibitors. It says minion gets +2 hit points and gets Retaliate 1. 7 health Retaliate 1 is a lot. We only have 1 card in our deck that does like Big Burst. Okay. So there's a lot of Retaliate on the table. There's a way that we can give it to Iron Man ranged, but it's not now. We could. I think we need to send Iron Man to this, but oh man, oh wait. This is on 2. I did the math wrong. Because this is going to hit 3 next round no matter what. We were meant to advance next round because it hits 2 and then you advance as opposed to be on 2 and then, because like when you play against Magneto, Magneto gets this after Magneto activates, but you get this at the beginning of the turn, so it is technically totally different. So we should have flipped down and let this like tactically advance last round. Kind of cool. So we might just get an encounter card to Zola's Mutate Sliding Shot. Otherwise, this hand's actually not super valuable, so we also could just like play it, do 5 damage, and then finish it off. That also might be okay. That might be fine too. And we're assuming Bad Boy will pop, which is good that we pop Bad Boy before we cycle our deck. If we play this for free, we do 7 damage to the Mutate, but we get a card. So that saves us 1 damage. It means we can play our second gun. That also, there's some value to that. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll use our hero ability. We'll play Sliding Shot, give us an encounter card. So this does 7 damage. And because we defeated the Zola's Mutate, we don't have to take the Retaliate. Oh, we also can worry about taking away Energy Shield. That might be better than playing our second gun. Because get rid of Energy Shield. It's so funny that all these attachments, a lot of them share names of hero cards later on. So this needs an energy and a mental. So unfortunately, it's a bit ugly, but we'd have to do like this. Feels bad to throw a genius after that, but that means we can just element gun, but we take Retaliate 1. I don't love it. I think it stays and we just play our gun. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, second gun. We'll stack them. 2 buttons. We could shoot for 3 damage. I think that's fine. Iron Man or thwart. Get rid of under attack. Power Gloves fires here, so we don't actually need the damage on Element Gun. After attach allies attack or sword, deal 1 damage is not an attack, so we don't take retaliate. Okay, so we've cleared the board, which is nice. We could jump down, but I think Bad Boy pops here. So I think we just pop Bad Boy on as little health as we can. So we'll use Element Gun. So this does 3 damage, but we take retaliate 1 because it doesn't have ranged as much as it is a gun, and we'll pass. Draw up 1. It's an honorary guardian. You can only have 1 attached, so we can attach the second one to ourselves. Jet Boots is okay. Eye Pack we can't play. Sky Cycle with 1 health on Iron Man doesn't make a lot of sense. Reinforced Suit gives +2 health, so that's perfect. Hopefully we don't get under assaulted and lose to damage. So, oh yeah, we're gonna take a bunch of damage here. This goes to 3. This goes to 3. The Island of Dr. Zola. So when this clears, we now have to, once there's 3 or more, discard cards until there's an encounter card until there's a minion. We're actually likely to get the Quick Strike minion, which will maybe knock us out. And then the Quick Strike minion, at least when we're in Alter Ego, won't do anything. As much as we'll advance here to Zola. So we'll have to make a decision. Yeah. Oh, 2 Quick Strike. Yeah, that's bad. So this is now revealed. I think we've been having some bad breaks here. So this is 3 health. It's now attacking us for 2 with Quick Strike. We could block with Iron Man, which seems a bit silly with all this health in our hand and this card draw. We could defend ourselves. And when we defend ourselves, we only take 1 damage. The thing is, if we take this damage, we flip down and Bad Boy fires and we draw 2 cards and we're in 2 health and Alter Ego. But then Zola schemes for 2 in a card. And it's very likely when Zola schemes for 2 in a card, we advance. But then when the Berserk Mutate activates a second time, we at least doesn't have any text because it's scheme 0. I think we just take it. We take 2 damage. Would defeat us. Will we fly away? When we take enemy damage from the villain's attack. Oh my god. No, this was so badly planned. I guess we have to block here. We'll defend for 1. We'll take 1 damage. Now Zola's attacking us for 2 in a card. We would have died to Under Assault if we drew it. The one that just does 1 damage to everyone would have lost us the game, but it's Ultimate Bioservant. I think this gives a toughness to the villain. It does. And so that would be 2 damage, which would defeat us. This we will Bad Boy away. So we drop to Alter Ego. We draw 2 cards, both sliding shots, and we take no damage. Now Berserk Mutate schemes for 0, which is fine, and we draw 2 encounter cards. There is a couple encounter cards here that will defeat us. This is not one of them. Neurological Implants. Attached to the minion with the most remaining hit points. If you cannot gain Surge, it gets +2 hit points, +2 scheme, +2 attack. So big guy. That's good. Zola's Mutate when revealed. No. We are getting absolutely kicked around here. Discard cards from the top of the deck until you get an tech attachment. There might not be that many left. Okay, we got rid of the last Concussive Blast. That's good. So it's another Neurological Implants. So again, +2 hit points, +2 scheme, +2 attack. This is 7 health, 4 attack, 3 scheme. I need to see if we found yet our Nova friend, because Nova would do a lot. Because Nova can do 7 damage if we play Nova here. But yeah, that was oof, that was a turn. Okay. Have we seen Nova yet? I don't think we have. So we can always draw some cards. We can always swap with the top of our deck, which that's fine too. Unfortunately, we can't fire Guardians of the Galaxy on our side now because we're not all Guardians. Because in Alter Ego, we're not a Guardian. Now we could fix that by giving ourselves the Honorary Guardian title. Unfortunately, we can't attach that because we're not a Guardian. But this card, why we have 2 of, is we can attach 1 to an ally and then the other one to Peter Quill so that we can actually use this in Alter Ego, which gives us a bit more flexibility to like draw, then set up the top of your deck. Okay, so these 2 are good. Sky Cycle +2 health is perfect because that means we can attack for functionally 8. So we can clear out some of these. We have a lot of work to do. Luckily, we have 6 damage with the 2 guns, so I think we actually should be fine here. I'm going to go ahead and before we do anything cool, I'm going to use our Alter Ego ability to flip this. We're looking for Nova. Oh, sidearm. That's good. It's more damage. And we'll flip with the top of our deck. Okay. We can't recover because we're exhausted, which that's immediately an issue I'm realizing in hindsight. So we're going to have to chump block with Iron Man on 1 health and hope for the best. We'll actually have 2 health in a second. So we'll flip up and then we'll start just building the tank Iron Man. Happy Halloween, it's sidearm, +1 attack and ranged. Ranged is really important in this scenario. We draw our IPAC because of the retaliate. Ranged. Here you go. Okay, and we're going to keep doing this. We're going to attach the reinforced suit. This is +2 hit points. So we're on 3 health, draws a card. Laser Blaster, we'll attach that too. +1 attack. This is the miracle deck, trying to draw into your way out of the problems you have. So this is a very Guardians traded card. So this is +1 attack, draws a card, has overkill. That's useless. Overkill probably won't matter on this board state. Sky Cycle. So we have to attach this to an Avenger, so that's good that we're not trait locked. Draw. Okay, so energy. We'll keep these ones separate because they have more interesting text. And this is our hand. So we'll attach an Honorary Guardian to ourselves. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy only draws when you attach to an ally, I'm pretty sure. If each of your creatures is the Guardian trait, this card gets response after you play an upgrade on an ally. Yeah, so this doesn't work on us, but this does give us +1 hit points. So we heal 1, which is nice. I mean, that's twice as much health as we had a moment ago. Okay, I think we just play the Jet Boots. And then we're going to dump the rest of our hand into the Element Gun. I don't think we have a big reason to play Sliding Shot here. We actually might, but it's like 3 resources for 5 as opposed to 2 for 6. Okay, so now we have to do the puzzle of how to survive this table. We're going to deck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 next turn and a bit, so we can defeat Iron Man and then cycle our deck, which should be perfect. So we have to figure out the puzzle here. So Iron Man attacks for 5 +1. So if we Element Gun this, it goes down to 4. So Iron Man is a bit overkill, which is totally fine. So let's do that. We'll Element Gun. We'll throw out a card to do 3 damage. This goes down to 4. Then Iron Man will attack, which does 5 damage with overkill. So it takes the toughness off. Overkill doesn't take retaliate damage. And then Power Glove fires, which can do 1 damage. Cool. Sky Cycle will ready Iron Man. Iron Man will activate again for 5 damage with overkill. So 1 more damage goes into the villain. And then Power Glove does 1 damage to the villain. And we are exhausted. Unfortunately, oh, we could have got rid of this. So this is energy and mental. Could we have done that better job? Yeah, we could have done that a better job. So whenever we played the energy, why did we play the energy? How is the energy in our bin? Oh, for the Jet Boots. We'll instead play this and this to leave us with these 2 cards. We should have planned this. And then we'll spend energy and mental to get rid of energy shield. Yeah, I need to look at the attachments before I decide what I'm spending. So we'll get rid of this. We gain no new information between now and then. Don't feel bad. That should be it for our turn. We're only on 2 health. This is scary. The deck is pretty low too, so we're about to shuffle the deck. But otherwise, not too bad. There actually might have been a line there where we use Iron Man to thwart 4 instead of attack 5, and then we used Element Gun to finish off the Berserker. That actually probably was correct. We need to deal with Hydra Prison at some point, or even we could have dealt with the main scheme. That might have been better. Because this was on 4. It was on 4 health. Yeah, let's actually retcon that, because the Berserker is on 4 health. So we do Iron Man on this. Then we do 1 damage to this. It's on 3. But then we do the Element Gun. We don't get rid of the thing. No, that's fine. That's a bit too hard to fix, but it actually might have been right that we go for this instead, because this is good thwart, and we'll pass. We should have a pretty good idea what we're drawing, because we only have 6 cards left, and we're drawing 5 of them. Gutsy move, super pure training, build support for the IPAC, Electra, of course, and then White Tiger. Oh yeah, right, both of our friends are down there. So the 1 card in the bottom of our deck is Gamora. This goes to 4, counter 1. Zola's attacking for 2 in a card. We have to block here. We can lose the game. It's place 1 test counter in the main scheme. Okay. And Iron Man's defeated. We have a lot of shuffling to do, that's for sure. And if we draw an attack here, we almost definitely lose the game. Oh god, why is it like this? Zola's attacking for 2 in a card. We have to block for 1. We are dead. That's 4 damage. We block 1, we take 3. Oh, damn. We never had a break there. Well, how many assaults are left? That could only be that was the only one. Yeah, bummer. Advance wouldn't have been good for us, but that was the only card there that gets us. I did not feel good there. I did not feel like we were in control. I felt like we were holding on. I think there was probably a turn or two that we did misplay a bit. I think we can do this though. I have beat the scenario with this deck before with Star-Lord yesterday doing some practice, so I know it's possible, but we're going to run it back. Man, our opening felt so good, but then we're just on the back foot. This is what I mean. Is like when you take those like turns where you draw 3 encounter cards in the first turn or the second turn, like if you're not really winning the game, it's really, really bad. I wonder if the Retaliate's like emotionally doing damage that I'm not sending the element gun every single turn. But yeah, just healing ourselves is really hard. Bummer. Woof. Bad luck there. I think the turn we should have flipped down and let this advance was probably the turn that we should have recovered instead of taking 2 threat. I think recovering 4 is just like worth way more, because the way that we realistically lose this game is by just not having enough health. And there was even turns that we were risking like dying to the concussive blast that I don't think we needed to take those risks. All right, let's get this one more shot. We got this. That's a cool thing about this deck too, is like I think every time we play it, we are learning a lot, which is not always the case. Maybe when everything's easy, that's not always the case. Villain, 14 health. Us, 14 health, evenly matched. We have an ultimate bioservant. This is at 0. This is at 0. And the last thing we have to get is 1 copy of test subjects, which should be at the top. All right, take 2. This time with feeling. Oofa doofa. That was wild. I think from there we probably do recover. I think that's the turn that we jump back and heal. We can set up our like really good allies there. We can do a bunch of threat stuff. Like we have White Tiger. We can fire White Tiger. We clear all the threat. We jump down, we recover. And then we do 2 recovers in a row and we go in. So I think we're actually okay from that spot. We probably do stabilize. I think we cleared like, you know, the villain only has 14 health, but I think we probably ended up clearing like maybe 30 health of minions, which is what the scenario does ask of you consistently. Okay, I need to shuffle our deck really well because obviously we have all these attachments that were together. So let's give that a good shuffle. And then we'll take one more time. I think we have one more run in us today. How's everyone's Sunday going? 2 threat means we can clear test subjects on turn 1 no matter what. The one turn we also like got our test to fire off the Island of Dr. Zola counters and got the quick strike one. That also kind of cooked us because blocking for 1 is such a bad use of our ready that turn. Okay, take 2. Coffee time. And we're off. Palms implant. We've drawn that first card before. We don't keep it. We don't keep that either. We don't keep that. We don't keep any of these. I mean, we definitely don't keep these. This hand is bad. That's really, really awkward. They're all upgrades that need allies, most of them. So that's obviously not worth keeping because we don't even have an ally. I could see a world where we keep Genius, but I think it's just so much more important we see one more card. Because if we don't draw our Iron Man, we don't draw our team card. It's not good. Superpower training. Digging deep. You don't want to draw this, but okay. Daring escape. Daring escape. Element gun. Sidearm. Search your deck for element gun. And concede on turn 1. Okay, this is like the bad thing. I've never had to play this out, but this is where you draw a hand that has no like alignment with your game plan. I'm not sure what we're meant to do here. I think we just set up as best we can. Like, I don't want to play Daring Escapes on turn 1. Maybe we should. I doubt it, but maybe we could. I'm really not gonna, but like maybe. But I think we just have to play this out like as a reg deck here and see what happens. Superpower training is something we can set up. We can play an element gun. I don't think we play 2 element guns. Maybe we do actually. Yep, we probably do play 2 element guns. And I think on average, an ally is probably less bad than a test subject, but maybe that's wrong. Maybe we can just let this coast. Okay, we can swap a card with the top of our deck. That could save us, or it could be terrible. This one's terrible. That's fine. Okay, so we can't clear the threat off of test subjects in Alter Ego. If you can, sometimes it's worth it because the minion you could get from this could have quick strike. So unfortunately, we don't have that. So we're going to flip up. Okay. So Daring Escape, we now know what we're drawing. And I really do not like the fact that we offloaded that like little surprise. So that's, we know how good it is and it's not very good. So we'll play 3 for an element gun. I think we'll let this cook. Actually, no. I think we'll clear this and use the guns on whatever comes out of it. Then we're going to take a card using our hero ability to play the second gun. That's right. Then we just start blasting. These two cards will be our element guns, which is fine. We'll thwart for 2 off the test subjects. When test subjects is defeated, we discard minions. Discard until we find a minion and reveal it. There's a 2 assaults. Nice. Gang up. Nice. Concussive blast. We should track those. Advance. Okay, this is good. Ultimate Bioservant. I feel like that's a win. As bad as the start seems like it's going, that's not too bad. So this is another one of our guys. You don't want to leave them around because, you know, they get worse the longer you let them. Oh, not you. You let them stay around. And then we're just going to do zap zap. We could take the toughnesses off. Technically, we're wasting value. Wait a second. So in theory, we could do bring to 1 health, bring to 1 health. Or we could just knock one out. In theory, we're wasting 3 damage. If we don't deal with them, we have to take 2 small attacks for 1. That's fascinating. I think we actually do spread the damage out here. Because like knocking out 1 servant, who cares? An attachment will attach to the other one anyways. Yeah, I'm going to try and do shoot shoot. I think that's kind of funny. Like we know where the gang up is. I think the gang up is the really big punishment for this. But this might be fine. And that's it. This goes to 1. Oh, let's draw our hand first. 1, 2, no, 3, no, 4, no, 5, fine. Maybe we can play this. That's White Tiger. She's not an Avenger, which I think White Tiger technically is an Avenger, but not here. So we can at least remove a lot of threat. That's not a very functional hand. This is where like you really need your call for aid quickly. Otherwise you draw all these upgrades that are not that good. Zola's attacking for 2 in a card. We'll take it. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doing a fair bit of damage to us. Draw another encounter card. Oh my god, I was trying to draw Nova. Nova's here the whole time. I was like, hopefully we draw into Nova. No, Nova's trapped in prison. I forgot about that. Sorry, guy. I should save you. I may have missed, but it was a resource did you spend for these double element guns attacks? The last 2 cards we had. We had a sidearm and a superpower training. Those are the last 2 we had. Concussive blast. Okay, good to get this out of the way here because it's not too bad. Not you. Deal 1 damage to each character you control. That's only 1. It's not that bad for an encounter card. Yeah, we had it. I was almost going to play the superpower training and then I realized like we won't have ammunition. Ultimate Bioservant. What about if we divide the damage 1 more time? Okay, so at least we can clear the board. There's 4 Bioservants. We found 3 of them. This one also has toughness. Man, I feel like there's this old leadership that I played when I had the core set where you played like core set plus a couple cards where you had Squirrel Girl, you had Hawk Eye. And those are just like really fun cards. And I just haven't played with them in such a long time. Because the sort of like ally swarm leadership just feels like it's the same no matter what deck you're playing. And I miss those a lot. This hand is bad. It's literally 1 playable card. At least I guess we have Element Gun Fuel. So we'll play White Tiger. Oh, actually, no. We can do something with this hand. This hand is good. Okay, we can deal with this. This hand's fine. So White Tiger comes in. Actually, I like this hand. We're going to spend a mental energy. By mental, I mean wild. To remove 3 threat from a scheme. Let's go rescue our friend. That's probably worth doing. Then we're going to use White Tiger to thwart for 3, and we'll rescue Hydra Prison. When we rescue Hydra Prison, it's removed from game, and we get access to our friend, Nova Prime. That's good. That can knock out an Ultimate Bioservant and get to work. So we can play Nova Prime for all of this, and then we can just clear the board with everything. Otherwise, we can take 3 threat. If we take 3 threat, what are we gaining from it? If we take, 1 encounter card and play this for 2, if we play it for 2, it saves us 6 damage. But it's not a huge 6 damage, I'll be honest. I'm not going to take an encounter card. I'm not going to. Can't make me. So I'm going to just play 5 for Nova Prime. Yeah, this hand actually was kind of nice, now that we remembered we had a friend in prison. Sorry, Nova Prime, we forgot about you. You were a priority since game 1. After you play Nova Prime from your hand, defeat a non-elite. So this is a nice way to deal with this. Actually, a really nice way to deal with that. Then we will attack for 2. Nova Prime will attack for 3. And this is a turn that you can consider jumping down if you want, because that's the turn where we can get around this. If we jump down, we draw more cards. I think this is fine if we jump down. If this goes through, I don't think we care. We will jump down for +1 hand size. We'll pass. 1, build support. Nice. That's the one to get support. So I'd love to get IPAC. It's really fun. Digging deep. Star-Lord's helmet, call for aid. So we know if we play this, we can get White Fox, Bad Boy, and Iron Man. Oh yeah, Iron Man too we need. Okay. Two. Zola schemes for 2 and a card. 1 boost, it goes to 5, so we do not advance. Which is why we were jumping down here, so we can advance when this is at 2, so it resets. Mind Ray? Never mind, we figured it out. Yeah, Zola schemes, you are confused. So in theory, the scheme happens first, so Zola schemes for 2 and a card. Shuffle this back into the deck, so it's just for 2, which pops Island of Dr. Zola at 7. Hey, is this Civil War? Interesting, the Star-Lord's signature ally isn't a Guardian. Yeah, it's cool, but I do think Nova Prime like actually really matters in that world. Also, it's not Civil War, Pat. How's it going? Bummer that we couldn't hang out too much in Edinburgh. Hopefully you're doing well. I'm excited to hear about the rest of your travels. Civil War is, we don't have it. This is just like old stuff. All right, let's remember that we were confused after this activation. But we have advanced to the next scheme, which I think has text on it. So this clears. Says when revealed, each player searches the counter deck and discard pile for a minion and reveals it. This is a nice way also to let this advance when you're in Alter Ego, because we can go ahead and search for the Quick Strike guy who won't do anything, because Quick Strike doesn't matter when you're in Alter Ego. And then this card flips over, and it's just the exact same text, if I'm not mistaken, as the other side. I'm like 99% sure. However, it has 8 threshold, and if this is completed, we lose. It's like really hard to say this because in context, I'm pretty sure Zola is a Nazi, but like the old school style of like this like mad scientist, I dig it. I think it's just like so fun. It's really, really cheesy. The robot with the giant face on the stomach, the tiny head. I think it's sick. That's it. That's us. Again, Berserk Mutate. We revealed it. Doesn't do anything. Or Berserker Mutate, probably. No, Berserk Mutate. Hard to spell. And it's back to us. Okay, this is a turn. I think we just want to recover here and then set up an Iron Man. Call for aid. Again, if we do call for aid, what does it get us? It resets our deck, which is good because we have all our attachments in the bottom. It gets us 1 Digging Deep and it gets us White Fox. I would say that's worth it. In fact, it gives us 2 Digging Deep. So first, we're going to swap the top of our deck. Why is it like this? What's happening this Sunday? I can't believe that. So what happened there is we swapped a card from our hand with the top of the deck to ideally get anything, but instead we drew the one best card that we wanted in our deck to discard to get a free ally. That chance was a 1 in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That was a 1 in 17. Oh, that's so bad. Okay, emotionally that feels devastating. We'll get over it, I'm pretty sure. So now if we call for aid, it gets us like what? 2 resources and an encounter card. Which I don't even think we do that anymore. Because it only gives us 1 resource because we spend call for aid on it. If we got White Fox, like maybe we do it. Ouch. I think we're going to recover for 4 here. Nothing ever matters. Else matters. Okay. So what do we do here? We probably have to play Iron Man for an encounter card. So say that we play 1 and 1. Who cares about encounter cards? Timothy. I do. That's how you lose. They actually do matter. Like if you're not winning, extra encounter cards really do suck. The way that I see it, you want to kind of just like play slightly risky and then go for the encounter cards. But like +1 research for an encounter card, that's not a good trade we take. +1 and a free ally. I mean, like maybe I'm in. How you doing, by the way? Okay, so say we play Iron Man for 1 in a card. We don't have our team up, so it's not even like that good. How many team ups are left in our deck? I think that's a big reason why we'd play Call for Aid. If all our team ups were in the bin, we would definitely Call for Aid, but they're not. So I don't actually think we want to deck out before we find Call for Aid. Then here we could just dump everything into Bad Boy. We want to keep 1 resource for Element Gun. So nah, Nova Prime could be our Element Gun this turn. I think we just play Bad Boy as our insurance, which feels pretty silly on 11 health, but the other option is that we play Star-Lord's helmet and build support, which actually might be a bit more fun. And maybe fun is worth it. I think we need to have more fun. So let's do that. We'll flip up. We're Star-Lord now. We'll use our ability on our hero and spend 1 resource to save 3 resources for Iron Man. 3 health. It's our Avenger. Ugh. feel like I probably shouldn't stream when I like am this self-conscious about blowing my nose every 20 minutes. But let me tell you, it's good to be back. It really is. Okay. Excuse me. Ugh. So from here, I think we're gonna play Star-Lord's helmet because we haven't done that. So now we can actually take extra encounter cards and have a benefit from it. So it's good that it already fires this turn. This card is really good. And then I'm gonna play build support with White Fox. So this thing, when we clear it, we can go grab a support, which means we'll go grab IPAC or a team up. It's more likely we'll grab IPAC because we can't play it. Now we have the ability to go grab it right now, which actually might be fine. Yeah, that actually might be fine. So Nova Prime will definitely knock out Berserk Mutate for 3. White Tiger will take 3 threat off of build support. Removed from game. We'll go grab something. So we're going to grab the IPAC. I think we've already seen it, no? No, we haven't. Oh, yeah, we have. So this card is sick. We actually could fire it right now. I don't love firing it right now because drawing 2 cards, one of them we know to be a Digging Deep, is not very good. It technically gives us +1 hand size, which is kind of cute. We're confused. That's fine. Missed the videos, didn't see them for a while. Usually listen to older ones while driving. You talk and explain a lot, which is good for road trips for me. Yo, cheers. Thank you. I think it's ideal that if you can follow along the gameplay without having to watch, it's really, really good. So I find that to be a very nice compliment. I appreciate that. Hopefully your driving is good and we can get you there with a bit of having some nice time at the same time. That sentence got away from me, but you know what I mean. I think we're good here. I don't think Iron Man has to do any work. He's chilling and we'll pass. We're going to drop. We know one of the cards is Digging Deep because we just kind of like put it there. So we get Digging Deep. 2 is Leader of the Guardians. We should probably get that down sooner than later. Gamora is really good. We have a couple discard synergy cards in our deck. 4 is Jet Boots, which eventually now we can go to the get encounter cards synergy deck. And we have the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is really nice as much as we don't have any upgrades here. So that's good that we get our team up and then we can cycle our deck and go. To 2, 1 test counter. Zola attacks for 2 and a card. Do not care about it. The one thing we have to watch out is that the 2 concussive blasts are out, and because we have 2 1-health allies, that could be a problem. We could block with White Tiger, but if we get something that cares about threat, we're gonna feel bad about it. I think we just take the damage. 1, 2. Yeah, advances down 2 damage. Glad we didn't block. Results, oriented thinking, usually erratic, but that's what bumpers are for. Pain inhibitors. I'm pretty sure this just surges, right? Attached to a minion, otherwise it surges. Under fire. Okay, well, we said the word surge and it showed up. Good old expert cards are my favorite. Reveal a top card, then surge. Okay, good. Test subjects. So this is going to be no different than when we saw it on turn 1. 2 threat. And when we clear it, we go get an ally. Concussive blasters. This has to be a hero card, right? There's no way this is going to be the card I'm looking for. Oh, no, it is. Nice. +1 attack, retaliate 2, and it's going to be 2 energy icons and an exhaust to get rid of this as a hero, which is actually a pretty steep cost. And then exhaustion, surge, stop it, expert cards. Why are you built like this? All the expert cards having surge on them, man, emotionally feels bad. And Berserk Mutate. Okay, attack for Quick Strike 2. We just take it. Doesn't matter. All right. Okay, the board state, you know, that happens when you draw that many cards. Oh, we're meant to have 1 more card because Star-Lord's helmet. Gutsy move. Okay, that's fine. Good catch. Me. Okay, so we're at the point that we could actually decide to do IPAC, Star-Lord's helmet, and then Jet Boots and actually start doing encounter card maxing, which I think is kind of fun that we get to show that part of Star-Lord. So when we clear this, we get a minion. That's good. We're going to deck out in 2 turns. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, it'll at least be 2 turns as much as we can draw 2 cards here. I think we probably do draw 2 cards with the IPAC because we don't have that much going on. Gamora might be a nice play as well. I think we really want to draw cards with the IPAC too because we just want to hit upgrades. I'm going to do a quick deck check to see how many upgrades are in our deck that are left. It's only 2. So not a huge chance that we find an upgrade that we can play for free. It'd be good if we did, but it's like 2 in 11, which those are the odds we died to last game. So who knows? Okay. Giving everyone +1 thwart doesn't really matter here. the element gun deals with the berserk, no problem. We'll have an extra resource for sure. I think we're just going to IPAC here. Well, IPAC. Give ourselves a counter card draw too. We get sliding shot, digging deep, so no upgrades. Bummer we drew the digging deep because Gamora might have had a line there, but that's fine. So who's going to threat 2? I think it has to be Iron Man here. Yeah, Iron Man will thwart 2. Clear test subjects. When this is cleared, we discard cards for a minion. We reveal Zola's Mutate, which has bad text. So we reveal cards from the top until we get an attachment. So we've got defensive programming. The theme of this is so good. I really like this one. So guard at 7 health. I'm going to not put the guard thing on it because I'll remember. I have no, like, we haven't hit Zola once. Like, how am I going to forget? This is like a good sliding shot angle. Again, we have +1. Actually, no, we have hand size. We could deck out this turn, which should be fine. Excuse me. Yeah, disgusting. Okay. So we should play our team card before we deck out. White Tiger should just thwart 2. That's fine. We'll just thwart 2 with White Tiger. She's knocked out. Having no allies is a bit scary, but not the worst. So this does 7 damage if we play it. If we get another encounter card, it's not a huge difference. So we could play 1, 2, 3. That knocks out the mutate. We can energy gun berserk mutate. We're exhausted. Otherwise, we have the ability to get rid of concussion blasters, but we can't. I think we just get an encounter card here. Let's start encounter card maxing and see what happens. So we don't need another encounter card for this, but whatever is free is free. So we'll take an encounter card and play sliding shot. So this in theory is 0 for 9, which is, you know, where things get really bursty, but that'll knock that out. We have 2 encounter cards coming in, which is +2 hand size. So we'll spend 2 here for jet boots, which is +2 health functionally this turn, because we're definitely going to get attacked. This card's really good. And then we can play one of these cards. My guess is that we just play our team up, which we need to play because, again, we're all about this upgrade technology. And then we'll spend 1 with their element gun to shoot the mutate. Nova Prime will chill because I don't think we can get knocked out by any of the concussive blasts because they're all gone, and we'll pass. And we're drawing 5 cards plus Star-Lord's helmet, which is now we're drawing 7 heart cards. Star-Lord's helmet. Pretty good. 1, 2, good. 3. There's 1 more upgrade. 4, 5, 6. That's it. 7. There's 2 cards left in the deck, so we have a very good control of our cycle here. Goes to 2. Test counter is 1 threat. Zola is attacking for 3 in a card. We'll take it. 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. With the jet boots kick in, we only take 2 damage. So let's see how bad this is. So far, so good. We could take a bunch of attacks here. We've seen 2 assaults already on turn 1. Banishment. Okay, this is fine. So banishment, either we exhaust Peter Quill, which I don't want to do. So I'm just going to get rid of a second gun, which, like, it's fine. We're about to cycle our deck. No big deal. We'll discard this. Next card. Mind Ray. Uh-oh. That's another attack and a stun. So Zola attacks you. This is for 3 in a card and a stun. If we have a 2 boost here, we're dead. So we don't want to do that. Technically, the stun doesn't happen yet, but it shouldn't be fine. So I'm just going to block with Nova Prime. 1, 2, 3. Boost. Place 1 test counter in the main scheme. This goes to 3. Knocks out Nova Prime. Now we have 3 test counters on the Mad Doctor, but if I'm not mistaken, the way this is worded, it says after resolving step 1, place a counter, then if there are 3 or more test counters. So this actually won't fire immediately, which is different than if you play against like Magneto, but this will fire next round guaranteed. Next card, Exosuit. Okay. The first card we added to this entire campaign. And now Zola has +1 attack, +1 scheme, and it's a whole rainbow of resources to get rid of this thing. So we'll worry about that in a bit. All right. Honestly, not bad. We're in an okay spot. We're going to be drawing encounter cards for sure here. But our engine now with the helmet and the jet boots is making us feel a bit more survivable, which is definitely what we want. Now, the thing is, if we play this, which we will, we'll play Power Gloves on Iron Man, we draw a card. And now we can decide before we draw our last card, which is Sliding Shot, which of these cards we want to get into the discard pile before we deck out. Okay, so which cards do we want to put back in the deck? We don't want to put Guardians of the Galaxy back in the deck. Sliding Shot, we probably want to put back in the deck. We can exhaust our hero and spend 2 energy to get rid of concussive blasters. I'm assuming that's going to be important for us. So unfortunately, it would have to be Electra. Electra is worth playing, so I guess we don't get rid of it. Maybe we get rid of yellow, red, blue to get rid of the exosuit. So we could do yellow, red, blue. We'll get rid of exosuit. This puts these cards back in the deck, which we don't want to do yet, so we'll wait on that. Yeah, it's not great. So I think we're just going to go ahead and attach Inspired to Iron Man. +1 thwart, +1 attack. Draws a card. That draws this, which is the last sliding shot that decks us out. We get an encounter card, and we'll go ahead and mark these stats. So we're now at 3 thwart, 3 attack, 3 health. This is our hand. This is our shuffle. Okay, we have decked out. We have no more card draw unless we fire IPAC this turn, and I think now we fire IPAC every turn because we're kind of set up to do it because we have the helmet and the jet boots. I think it was right to do this in this order, and then IPAC when we're seeing more cards from this deck, but I guess it doesn't matter. When you draw a card, it's the same as you draw a card. Okay. We'll IPAC. So we get another encounter card. 5 health, this might be a bit sketch, and we draw 2. Actually, I don't know if we do this. This hand is fine. Let's not do it. Let's not do it. Let's not do it. This hand is fine, and we're at the point where, like, on 5 health, we're actually we have narrow margins. So do Electra. We'll throw a red card. We, in theory, could call for aid to deck out again, get another encounter card, get a white fox, 3 resources. Is that actually right? Hold on. This actually might be a call for aid angle. So this is the goofy thing you can do with call for aid. Basically, all we do is we take our deck, we remove white fox, we remove 3 resources, and we get an encounter card. I think we do it. It's what the deck wants to do. So we're going to play call for aid here. So we discard cards from the top of our deck until an Avenger ally. Our deck has no Avenger allies. So we discard our whole deck, but we discard a Digging Deep, which is added to our hand, a white fox, which is added to the table, and 2 more Digging Deeps. And then all we do is give ourselves another encounter card and shuffle. This is fine, because these resources we can use to clear all the attachments and then set up. I'm okay with this. And white fox on the table is a good chump blocker, which we can use. I don't think we'll go for another encounter card, but this should be fine. So white fox, when she's discarded from the top of your deck, you can just play her for free. Really cool card. Very much gnome themed, or dwarf themed, excuse me, from Lord of the Rings. If you know, you know. Okay. Good. Let's call for aids in the bin. And we just spam the hand. So we'll spend 2 Digging Deeps, and we'll exhaust our hero to get rid of the concussive blasters, take a retaliate off. We need to keep that damage down. So we are just taking undefended attacks. We'll spend our rainbow, yellow, red, blue to get rid of the exosuit. So now Zola's down to 2 attack, 2 thwart, which is really not that bad. As much as 5 health is a lot. We'll play Electra, who we rescued just recently. We'll spend a physical to deal 3 damage. It's not an attack, so we don't have to deal with retaliate. So the villain takes 3. She's on 3 health. 3 attack, 1 thwart. We'll spend a gutsy to shoot the element gun, excuse me, which gets rid of the stun. I don't think we'll IPAC. We don't have ranged on Iron Man, so I don't think we attack Zola. I think we're just going to use White Fox to attack for 1. And I think we're going to use Electra, who takes retaliate 1 to do 3 damage to Zola. Villain is down to 8. That's it. We'll pass. We have 2 chump blockers, which is good. We know where the concussive blasts are. We're not going to hold on to the Digging Deep. We'll draw 5 plus 2. We're drawing 7. We're in a good spot. Energy. Daring Escape. White Tiger. Another element gun. Daring Escape. 2 extra cards. We get Honorary Guardian, which is fine. We want more upgrades to cycle to do the Miracle Angle. And we have a Leader of the Guardians, which is really important in the next scenario, if we can get there. All right, we're going to get I forgot we're going to get a minion this round, but I don't think it's a big consideration. So this goes to 4. This goes to 1. And now this has 3 or more. We have to discard cards from the top of the deck until we reveal minion. Quick Strike would be the worst case. Ooh, Shadow. Zola's Mutate. This is the best case because Zola Mutate has a when revealed, and we don't reveal the minion, we put it into play. Apologies if I misspoke. So then this goes down to 1, and Zola's Mutate comes in with 5 health and no relevant text. All right, now Zola's going to activate against us. It's attacking for 2 and a card. We're not going to block. There's no way you can die here. It's 2 boosts, so that's 4 damage, but Jet Boots kicks in. With Jet Boots, we'll ignore 2 of the damage, so we'll just take 2 damage. Actually, this is kind of scary. Maybe we should have blocked. And Zola's Mutate. Yeah, we actually should have blocked in hindsight. Because Jet Boots takes any amount of damage. Yeah, we should have blocked. Okay, hold on. I'm going to retcon this block because I think we always block here with Electra. No, we could use Electra for this. Going down to 1 is so scary because if we draw, like if I miscounted and we drew 1 card from the under attack set that just does like 1 damage to everything, we're kind of in a bad spot. But in theory, we should have blocked with an ally here and then blocked all the damage from Zola's mutate. That would have been much better in hindsight, like immediate hindsight. It doesn't matter what the boost on this is because it's going to be 2 damage or more, but this is going to be 2 damage and we always block 2 damage. So I'm going to just throw White Fox. No, I'm going to throw Electra in the way instead. And imagine that we took no damage from the attack. A bit maybe of like a weird take back, but I think we need it. And then Zola's mutate will block with Jet Boots. 3 encounter cards. First one, laser rifle. Okay. Gives the villain +1 attack and ranged, which doesn't matter. Okay, neurological implants. So we have +2 health, +2 attack, +2 scheme. So that's scary. Luckily, we have good damage. And Berserk mutate. Okay, so this is quick striking us for 2. I think we just have to take that. Down to 3. Okay. We need to do some work here. So I think we just keep or start cycling. So Honorary Guardian on Iron Man, +1 health, draws a card. I don't have the card art for this for some reason. Sidearm on Iron Man, +1 attack, ranged. +1 range really matters in this scenario. We draw a card because of the retaliate. Okay, that means Iron Man plus Element Gun, which is ready, will do 7 damage, +1. We are confused. We're on 3 health. We might have to run down and exhaust and recover. I think there's only 4 cards left. I think there's no advances left. So jumping down to Alter Ego, as long as we don't get an encounter card, is relatively safe here. It's 130. I think we can do this. Yeah, we should be able to do this. So I don't think it's a daring escape angle. I think it's just a do things angle. I think we just do things. Things will be done. So we're going to attack for 4. 7 goes down to 3. We can fire our power gloves. So we can do 1 damage. We'll do it to Zola. Then we can do Element Gun. Actually, no, we'll do it to the Berserk mutate. Zola can heal. Because we recover. No, this is still fine. Okay, we'll use Element Gun. We'll discard a card to do 3 damage to Zola's mutate, knocking it out. We don't have to deal with this thing because we're going to be an Alter Ego and has 0 scheme, so we can just let this chill. In theory, we might have wanted to leave it on 3 health. Yeah, I think we actually put this on 3 health because we're going to play our second gun, so Zola will take the damage. Then we'll do 1, 2, 3 for the second Element Gun. So that's 1 resource for a piercing 3 damage. We'll just play White Tiger because she's free. Comes in with 3 health, 3 thwart. We won't fire her ability. Yeah, that's fine. We can hold on to the leaders of the Guardians. I just don't think it matters in this scenario. So we'll spend that to shoot the mutate. White Fox will thwart 1. We'll hop down and we'll recover for 4. We're in a good spot. We can do this for sure. Basically, we do 6 damage next turn, almost no matter what. And then if we get a good sliding shot, we can beat Zola in a turn. We won't hold on to this. We can technically swap it with the top of our deck. We won't hold on to that. We'll pass. Draw 6. 1, 2. Laser Blaster's good. 3, 4, 5. Nova Prime's fine if we get something big. Sliding Shot's exactly what we need here. If we draw another copy of the Zero Coster, Comms Implant's good too. That's a free cycle. And let's see what happens. This goes to 2. This goes to 1. Solo schemes for 2 and a card. It is +2, so that's 5 of 8. We have to hope that we don't draw an advance. I think they're all in the bin though, so we can do this safely. Oh, there's actually not only advance, there's Mind Ray, so that's another card we have to worry about. And it's Ultimate Bioservant, which is toughness and 4 health. We could play Nova Prime to get rid of this, or we can just ignore it and try and win the game this turn, which might be possible. So it's back to us. We can swap the top card of our deck with our hand, which we don't have that many synergy angles for that. So let's think what we can do here. Clear my nose. Okay. White Tiger can deal with the main scheme. We're gonna get another minion. We can recover for 4 if we want to be really safe, which I think is probably fine. I think Bad Boy might be left in our deck, which that's good to know because I think we can survive one more turn, no problem. What do we want to do here? We want to play Sliding Shot for free, so that'll do 7 damage to Zola, which will knock out Zola with the Power Gloves. So that's good. We have ranged on Iron Man, so Iron Man's attacking for 5 into Zola, so actually Iron Man can deal with it. We can let the Ultimate Bioservant. We don't care. We have Element Gun. But I think we can win this turn. So I think we probably don't recover 4, but I'm going to do it for safety. I think we might just need 2 more attack from Peter, but we'll recover 4 and we'll flip. Okay, let's start building. So Comms Implant. The text on it's not going to be super important. +1 thwart, +1 health, draws a card. Is attached for free on Iron Man, who has all attachments -1. We'll keep attaching. We'll do Laser Blaster. This one gives Overkill, which might matter more. And +1 attack, draws a card. Call for Aid. What does that do? I don't think it does anything. 1, 2, 3. All Digging Deeps are here and White Fox is here, so it doesn't do anything. Okay. So I think, how much damage do we have? Zola 3. How much health are you looking at, Zola? You're looking at 16 health? So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Plus, this should be 9 damage. I think we definitely have lethal here. So I'm going to use IPAC. So IPAC, give ourselves an encounter card. We're going to go for our wild turn. This will work out. Draw 2 cards. We got another Honorary Guardian. We have a Reinforced Suit. We're going to keep doing our Miracle, so we'll attach a Reinforced Suit. +2 health. And draw a card. Ooh, Sky Cycle is so much extra damage. We'll attach the Sky Cycle because we're both Guardian and Avenger. We'll draw a card. We drew our Bad Boy. This is what I mean why this is called a miracle deck. That's a term from Hearthstone, in which the rogue class, which play all these 0-cost cards and play this this character that said when you play a spell, draw a card. So you just end up like on turns going from a board state to a much bigger board state suddenly and like having consistency on seeing your whole deck. All right, we should definitely have lethal here. So that's good. I think we're just going to go ahead and do, in theory, if we can figure out how to draw this card, we get another encounter card, which is 2 more damage this turn. So we actually might just play Call for Aid for 2 damage, which is really funny. In theory, is there any good breakpoint to do 8 damage? This is 5, 6. This should have a counter on it. We probably shouldn't have recovered 4. I think would have made it much easier on a breakpoint. We could have drawn this card. I guess we actually can draw this card. Wait, we can draw this card. And if we draw this card, we can Call for Aid for a whole deck again for more encounter cards. Wait, this is sick. So we'll attach Honorary Guardian to White Tiger. And that also fires Guardian of the Galaxy. She gets 1 health. Right? Yeah, because Guardians of the Galaxy says if you attach it to a Guardian, she's legally a Guardian here. So this draws a card. We deck out. We drew Gamora. We fully deck out here. So we have 2 things to shuffle. We get 1 counter here. We have to shuffle our tiny deck. Call for Aid goes into the bin. Yeah, this is going to be good. Oh, we can use Jet Boots to deny Retaliate. That's good. I didn't know that. When you take any amount of damage, prevent this. Yeah, so actually, yeah, we definitely shouldn't have recovered for 4. We're wasting 2 damage here, which can easily matter. Okay. Sorry, Call for Aid's still in her hand. Now we're going to... Oh, before we did that, excuse me. Before we did that, where we were attached White Tiger to draw, we were meant to attack with White Fox to do 1 damage. White Fox is technically, oh, that's us. Villain, 1 damage, recover 1 damage. Because she was meant to be in her discard pile, so we can shuffle her into her deck. Sorry, we're meant to do that first, for sure. Because we're going to Call for Aid here to get all the resources. And another encounter card. Okay. Then if I'm not mistaken, we just play Call for Aid. Call for Aid says discard cards. We know that there's no Avengers in our whole deck, so we're going to go get Digging Deep, Digging Deep, Digging Deep. White Fox is back. 3 health. Get another encounter card. We were meant to shuffle this. Need to shuffle our discard pile, which is our whole deck at this point, besides Call for Aid. 3 encounter cards waiting. This is shuffle technically. Okay. Good. White Fox will attack for 1 more, taking retaliate 1, dropping the villain down to 6. 6 is a big breakpoint because Iron Man will attack for 5 with range, so it doesn't have to take the what's it called, the consequential, or sorry, the retaliate damage. So villain takes 5, and then Power Glove says after you attack, take 1 damage. And this ultimate bioservant doesn't have what's it called, toughness. So that's 1 more damage, not to us. Restore 1, villain takes 1. That knocks down Zola to Zola 3. Zola 3 has 16 health. 16 health. When revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and reveals it. Reveal means bad text, so we're just going to go ahead for the ultimate bioservant, which we can ignore. Doesn't have guard. And we just have to do 16 damage, which is really trivial when we have a card in our hand that does 13 damage for 0. Yeah, this is easy. So we have another ultimate bioservant, toughness, 4 health. Okay. I mean, we can have so much damage this turn. We'll try and do all the damage we can. So in theory, to do all the damage we can, we should not have recovered for 4. That was obvious going into this. We can do... How do we get ourselves the most encounter cards? I think that's like the fun question here. So if we want to do the most damage, White Tiger will attack for 1. Takes consequential and retaliate. We'll ready Iron Man. Iron Man will attack for 5. Plus 1 from the Power Gloves. Down to 9. Takes no retaliate because ranged. Excuse me. We will do Element Gun, Element Gun. We'll ignore 1 of the retaliates, but that will do 6 damage. We take 1. I don't think we can get more encounter cards here. We'll do Sliding Shot for free using our ability. So we take another encounter card, and this does 5 damage plus 8 because we have 4 encounter cards. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage. So Zola's a -10. Seems good. We would love to get another one, so let's try for it. So we'll do 1, 2, 3 for Gamora, discarding White Fox. Gamora has a chance of finding another sliding shot, so Gamora will now attack for 2. Gamora. So she'll attack for 2, taking 1. So it does 2 damage to the villain. We discard cards until we find an event. We'll love a sliding shot here. It's a huge amount of damage. Electra gets discarded. Call for Aid is in our hand instead. Call for Aid could give us another encounter card. So in theory, if we did that in the other order, we had a small chance of doing 2 more damage because we can Call for Aid to cycle our whole deck to get another encounter card. That's pretty funny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are short a resource to do any more damage with this hand. Might not have been the perfect line here. How many did we have in the deck? We had 1, 2 sliding shots and 3 daring escapes. So I think we got a bit unlucky on Gamora. Because the daring escape, if we drew that, yeah, I think we definitely should have done Gamora before we played the sliding shot. Because we had a chance of doing easily 2 more damage there. But I think that's all the damage we have. We can just go ahead and spend an energy and a physical to get rid of the rifle. And Zola is very much cooked. Cool. We did it. Finally, we got there. That showed actually the power of these cards. They're very much worth it. Where like you actually get that. Like I think that's really important. If you want to take an encounter card, make it work for you. And like basically recovering and drawing extra cards is super, super valuable. But you see how cool Call for Aid is, especially in a way that you can encourage, or sorry, you can ensure that you get an encounter card, which on some turns actually is the most important thing. We probably don't survive the crackback. Like, let's be honest. Like Zola is going to attack us for 2. Ultimate Bioservant. We get assaulted. We have a bunch of attachments. We get more minions. We get a test counter. This will fire also on his 3rd test counter. Like you really have to go for it and the plan comes together. But when the plan comes together, it really does come together, which is quite fun. And the miracle element where you start with like 6 cards and by the end, well, even halfway through the turn, you have an entirely different hand is also a lot of fun. Yeah, I think if we had to discard, say that we find an event. Oh, Gutsy's not a good draw. But say we get a daring escape that readies us. We draw a card. Then we draw into a sliding shot. So that's another extra 4 damage. This is 5. This would have been a 17 damage sliding shot if we got lucky off of Gamora. And I think we would have done 2 more damage if we sequenced it right. Really, really cool. That's this deck. It's currently 1:40. I think we've been streaming for about 2.5 hours. I think we might have to call it there, unfortunately. We don't have time for a 3rd scenario. The next scenario is actually really interesting, and it's a scenario where we'll prioritize giving the +1 thwart to all of our guardian characters because it is Red Skull, and Red Skull puts a lot of thwart on the table, a lot of threat on the table that you have to deal with. Yeah, you definitely want the leader of the guardians in that scenario as quickly as you can get. I think also it's really interesting in this campaign, like what allies you get from the rescuing from Taskmaster really does shape your deck. The fact that we got White Tiger actually really helps us. That added a lot of thwart into our deck, especially because our deck is relatively thin once we do our miracle thing. Like our deck was only maybe 20 cards, so we can get through it pretty fast when we're drawing like 7+++ every turn. I think that's it. I think I still have a voice, so that's a nice thing to do, huh? Thanks so much for joining on a Sunday morning. Hopefully you're well. You're probably watching this at a different time. I trust you're doing well. Again, apologies here. We don't have any of the new content. We're doing the best with what we can, trying to put out, some hopefully some nice Marvel Champions content. As soon as we get the stuff that we're hoping to get, we'll be back here. I think Trickster Takeover will probably show up before Civil War, but actually I hope it doesn't to some extent. I think Civil War is maybe more exciting. But I think last we heard in Canada, November 7th for Trickster Takeover, and we don't even know if that's going to land up. Now, there is a chance that next weekend there will be no stream because I have my family coming to town, which is, I was going to say it's a bit of a bummer. It's a bit of a bummer we don't have a stream, but I'm super stoked to see my family and they're here for the weekend. So there's a chance the Sunday morning there won't be a stream. If that's the case, I was going to say we'll do something maybe on Friday night, but my family's here on Friday night as well. So you can't get away from them, huh? I'll try and make it make sense, but I don't think we'll have a stream next Sunday. Good game. Thank you, Roberts. Hopefully you're doing well. I don't know if we'll have time this week to do any video content. That is something we used to do on this channel. We'll edit something together and put it up, but it's been a while since we've been able to do that. I think I'd like to return to it. Maybe we'll have time on Tuesday. That would be the one day of the week we can do some recording. Maybe even tomorrow. We'll find out. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging out. I think that's what's on the what's new section. If you want to see this deck, you can find it linked below. In fact, this version you want to see specifically is the modernized version that's running the Digging Deep package and the White Tiger package, which is awesome. It's really quite fun, and I do think there's a lot of learning with it. It is like one of the decks I'm less confident with, and you could probably tell if you watch this for the last couple games, is that I can't always tell how bad the encounter card is. And obviously these cards change that math a heck of a lot, but it's really explosive. And I think that's how most people have historically played Star-Lord. And yeah, you can still get there. Hey, greetings from Latvia. Greetings. Enjoy your, I guess it's a Sunday evening at this point, huh? I think that's mostly it. We'll be back hopefully in a week, but not probably in a week. And otherwise, if you have your new stuff, enjoy your new stuff, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, y'all. Ciao.